Home ain't ever what you wanted it to be. So you packed your things and you left. Took a train, left somewhere out west, and you found what looks like hope. You take that little bit of change you got in your pocket and you build a ranch, maybe a nice little family. But unfortunately, there's never hope. Welcome to Crystal Grit. Mind your pistols now.
And hello, everybody. Welcome. It is us here tonight with another session of our Whispers in the Dust campaign while I adjust my camera because it was bothering me. But presented by Hard Knock Dice, which is the name of us as a collective. And I'm still not liking my camera, so I'm going to fuck with it some more. It's episode 10. 10 sessions in. That's crazy. But as per usual, we'll be playing some Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm trying to think of our announcements. I don't have one thing to announce yet because Extra Life is still on break. I believe it has not come back up quite yet. It's not restarted, so that's paused. But we still encourage you to donate to good causes that you may find of your own exploration. Other things that do similar stuff, do that. It's good. But other than that, we will do this here with the Whispers and the Dust and Western things and cowboy times, which last time we played, our party talked to a gentleman by the name of Silvershot, Silas Silvershot Granger, the leader of the Worm Riders, a gang that had stolen from Desmond Sinclair, as well as participated in the kidnapping of Clancy King, his wife, or alternatively known as Clyde Kelly, back in the home country. But knowing that she is here, some folks talked to him. Turned out he was kind of fucking with them. He knew who they were, or more or less what they were there for, and also had recognized our own Callie. Recognized that she is a high-ranking consortium member's daughter, who there is quite the bounty on for her return. This revelation led to a bit of a gunfight. Bullets whizzed. People were shot. Some people died. Not our party. One person went down, but then she came back up, and it was cool. And we are now at a bit of a lull in the action, as the two combatants that were still within earshot were convinced to stop fighting for the moment by one Alistair Dotry. But they know that there are other enemies or other members of the gang. Whether they can successfully be talked down as well, who knows? They have their leader captured. The building that Clyde's wife is in, as well as the loot that they were sent here to retrieve, is this one building on fire. Where we rejoin our party, hopefully with only one missing very momentarily, is in this moment, Belle had stepped inside, still disguised as one of the goons, one of the minions, had spotted a trap door that had been relatively well hidden in the floor of the first floor of the house, and had called it out to the party as alchemist fire slowly began to lick up the side of the outside of the building. So, unfortunately, Clyde just had to BRB.
I had a plan, unless we're sticking with initiative at the moment.
I also got a plan.
I figured.
Good, 'cause my plan includes you.
Oh, that's good. My plan does not include you.
Bitch.
I was.
Oh my god, that was so loud. I'm so sorry, everybody. That
Oh,
scared
my
me
bad.
so
I still had
bad.
it at the same volume. My bad.
Ooh.
I can crank it.
No,
down.
I got it.
You
I
got it
on
on your
our
end? Okay.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and get y'all's plans here. I figured what Clyde was doing would be very important, considering it is his wife that is upstairs with an individual who's not necessarily not hostile. So let's hear what it is you guys are wanting to do, and hopefully by the time y'all finish laying it out, he'll be back and we can see what he is doing.
Do you want to go first, Mr. Dotree?
Well, I am, as I fix this, I am going to call out to you, actually, so we can start a little bit of dialogue here. And I'm just going to call out to you since I know you have Mr. Granger over there. I'm going to say, Miss Sarabelle, if you kindly will bring Mr. Granger over here in the street, restraining John. I might be able to help you keep him tied up if you would. He's going to be a important negotiation tactic, I believe, here soon, as I assume I'm hearing other folks further from the city come our direction.
Yeah, y'all had heard people beginning to like rouse from the direction of where like Clyde had come in this little barracks area where y'all had known that most of the people were staying. I mean, it's at this point, like, if you look down that way, you probably see Genevieve kind of leaning on this railing here at this corner and just kind of watching down the street at what you guys are doing.
Sarabelle will tie up the unconscious gentleman and slap him onto John, who will begin to like place his hand over the man's face and start trying to poison him just continuously. Sarabelle will also climb onto John and try to get herself as covered by his body as possible and take out her kukri knife and just place it right up against his where she would know an artery would be. I don't know if she would know Dragonborn anatomy, if it's similar to human anatomy.
Roll a medicine check. I don't think it super matters. You know that he is close to death, so it probably wouldn't be terribly hard regardless.
10. Not a good doctor.
10. You figure it's probably the same. So welcome back, Mr. King.
Mr. King.
So what you had missed, not a big deal. Is just we were going to see where everybody was at in terms of action. We're probably gonna play it a little loosey-goosey, initiative-wise for now, because y'all do know there are additional hostiles somewhere in town. They're probably gonna be coming this way very soon. But Mr. Dotree has called out to Sarabelle to bring Granger to him near the front of the building, saying that he's important negotiating piece at this time. You know that there is an individual inside the building who sounds like Miss Bell, but but there appears to be a minion of the Worm Riders inside who called out that there was a hatch inside, tucked away, and that is the situation.
Okay.
Callie's gonna shout to everyone, that's Miss Bell. I talked to her already earlier. We should probably try to get this fire put out so that Mr. King's wife does not burn up into cinders, and materials aren't as well, things that we need to take back to Mr. Sinclair. So I'm going to be trying to put out that fire if anybody's able to help me.
I'm a little busy at the moment.
That's fine, Miss Sarabelle.
Belle's gonna go try to open the little hatch door.
Okay. It is locked.
It's locked.
Yep.
Can she look around for like a key or something that she can try to pick the lock with?
Are you proficient in thieves' tools?
Probably not, but you know. Let's see. Yeah, no. Nope.
I am.
So I'm gonna look around.
I am as well.
Okay. So then she'll cast thaumaturgy and just call out, the damn hatch is locked. If anybody can help me find a key. And she's gonna be looking around for a key.
Roll an investigation check for me. So Belle is looking for a key. What's that roll?
That's a one.
You don't see
a natural
shit.
one.
Super don't see things. You
Both
are very aware that the side of the house is on fire, and that freaks you out a little bit. So you're just looking around and you're just like, I
Well,
fucking
it
don't
freaks
see
out
anything.
a lot a bit. Yeah, it
Um,
freaks out a lot.
so that's what you're doing. Alistair and Sarabelle are bringing Granger to the front of the house with, I presume, the intent to be like, "We've got your boss. Chill the fuck out," or something like that. That's the kind of display you're looking for, or what are you doing when Sarabelle gets Granger to you?
Yeah, when Sarabelle gets Granger to me, we're gonna, I guess, park wherever in front of our party we need to be by a couple of steps. Having Granger displayed, I'm also, while she's making her way and gassing him up and everything, I'm gonna grab my manacles outside of the wagon, and slap those on Granger as well. I don't know how good at tying rope Miss Sarabelle is, so I'm gonna make sure that he's not going anywhere.
Thank you. I rolled a 7.
All right, well, he's
I have that
manacled
written
now.
down. So okay, so that's what you guys are in the process of doing. Like I said, loose initiative. So we're just kind of like that is in motion, is what is happening there. So that's what you two are doing. That's what Miss Bell is doing. Callie, what's up?
If Belle, you shouted out to say that you couldn't get the thing open.
Yeah, it is locked.
Okay, so then
I
I
used
think
thaumaturgy to
Right.
call out that it was locked and for somebody to come help me find the key.
yeah. So then I'm gonna go in and help. I am proficient in thieves' tools, so
Okay. So you can either, if you have some thieves tools, go ahead and go for it. If you don't, you can also basically roll. I want you to roll an investigation check to see if you can find something that can make do.
okay. Let me check to see what I have in my. It doesn't look like I have any in my equipment, so then yeah, I'll do an investigation
Yeah,
check.
see if you can find something like this. There's if you know what you're doing, you know what kind of size things you need to look for. So go ahead and roll that for me.
14.
14. Okay. I'll say that's you get some stuff. You're like, it'll probably be good for a one-time gig. Cool. There is the risk of basically if you catastrophically fail, they'll be broken in there and it'll be a lot harder to remove than actual thieves' tools.
Okay. I also have a crowbar, if that's helpful at all. Like that's the one thing that I do have.
That could definitely be a plan B. It'd probably be significantly more difficult because that'd end up being an athletics check. Probably harder to break than to just pick.
Okay. All right. So then roll sleight of hand for the thieves' tool.
Yeah. Dex plus proficiency.
Okay.
Is anyone trying to put the fire out currently?
No. People have talked about maybe putting the fire out. Nobody has tried to do it yet.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
All these things are kind of
Looking at it
happening
this way.
in tandem, so we're just kind of seeing what
Yeah.
everybody's doing.
Let's see. 16 plus 5, so 21.
100% we'll get it done. Like you know what you're doing. You're able to pick up some very thin utensils and things and get it click. You feel it click open. Clyde, what are you doing?
I am going to scurry up the side of this building and see if I can't stealth in and peek through some of these windows to see if I can see if this person actually has my wife or if she's okay or what the actual situation with that is.
Surely. So depending on where you're screwing up, so you just roll a quick perception check for me. We're just going to kind of choose that to see where you're at.
Let me double check my bonuses. That's a 12 on the dice. Excuse me. Perception is plus 5, so 17 total.
So 17, it's going to take you a second because you kind of climb up the side to this window. You look in, and while everybody's going in, you hear your guys getting like manacles locked on.
I already know they're not in that room because I heard them.
Yeah, you said that was the
go into
window that
another-
was being shot out of.
Right. So I would assume that
So you would have gone.
I would
from
have
up there
probably
go
went
whoop,
to
whoop,
over here.
Yeah,
Yeah, somewhere.
which just for ease of, oh, you're already flying. Cool.
And I think I was just caught on something. I wasn't actually
Oh.
flying.
Oh, you're up. It looks like.
You are flying. I made you fly.
Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, looking through that, you would be able to see that in this short time that this door has been opened, you see an Earth Genasi woman who currently has a rifle slung now and has a revolver drawn in one hand. Oh, god damn it! I'm fucking my roof keeps reappearing. Is in the process of removing ties off of your wife. Like I'm gonna say, like with the 17, this door is probably flung all the way open, so you can just see your wife over this woman's shoulder. It looks like
Okay.
she's trying to not fully untie her, but get her unbound to the chair that's in that little side room.
Okay. I'm assuming this is just like a quick glimpse. I can't tell any probably details about the state that my
No,
wife's in.
like I said,
Okay.
like with the current angle, like looking into that, like that you can get with that window.
Okay.
Like you're able to just see her over this woman's shoulder.
Okay.
And what's up, Geist?
As all of this is going on over the course of a minute or so, Geist is continuing to keep a lookout, looking at the people that he knows are in the street. And I don't know, you said that we are aware that reinforcements are coming.
Yeah, y'all have heard shouting and stuff coming from the area where the like the barracks area. It's a mining barracks, but it has also been housing the majority of the Worm Riders.
Yeah, he is looking to see what the state of that is. They're focused on the house and they're handling that, so he's keeping his focus on everything else that could come and fuck that up.
Sure. So roll a perception check for me.
You're muted.
I was making sure my check is what I thought it was. Yeah, 14. Okay.
14. With a 14, sorry. Looking down, so you'd kind of need to be like here-ish probably from where you are currently. Like still on top of your perch on the building.
Yeah, I imagine he is, since we're in loose initiative, he's probably like kind of.
Yeah, kind of having it's about,
Carrying out.
aiming to look this way, right?
Yeah, he's kind of like leaning out, laying prone around, looking out over the edge of that billboard looking thing.
While you're looking in that direction, like I said, you see, this Harangon woman who's just kind of like is leaning on this railing at this corner, just kind of watching down towards where you guys in your group are at, occasionally kind of glancing over her shoulder. But like you said, so over the next minute, you see her doing that. I'll say with a 14, you do glimpse like movement, kind of. I'm trying to see where you're at. In this ballpark, and you probably, you can hear some loose conversation that is a little louder, but not quite legible from what you can hear, understandable. But you do see like a couple of heads peek out from around here, close to the end of that minute, like right at the corner of this building.
But we don't have any making the approach, so no.
No, it sounds like
anything.
they heard a lot of gunfire, and now they're not hearing anything. Like the gunfire from y'all's end stopped, so they are no longer rushing. So something either went really well on their end, or it hasn't. Yeah. So that's that whole minute for you, and it's kind of these are these actions over that first little bit.
Right.
You're doing that. Y'all are bringing Granger out here. John. So currently John is back here with Granger, like right in front of the house. Alistair, you're a little bit farther down the street. Where are you guys actually setting him up? Where y'all wanting to be at? Because I figured you were trying to be with him, right? Since you were manacling him.
Yeah, I want to be on this side of the house.
Okay.
But I was okay with you being back there, for a little bit further away. I just want you in plain sight, like maybe
Okay.
like right here, right beside my cart, since that's where I would have got the manacles from, anyways. Clearly holding the knife to Granger.
I will say, Sarah Bell, she's watched too many hostage situations. She ain't peeking her head out from behind Granger's head. She is very, placed him right here, the knife up against his neck, John's hand over his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
is trying to expose as little of herself as possible. So
This is a heavy guy. Just as you gotta haul this dude up, and you're like, God damn, it's a big dude.
I mean,
Alright.
she would be like prepped up like this
Yeah,
with
yeah,
him
I
on
figured.
top of him.
John's got some hands to help her out too, right?
Sure. He's trying. He's mostly he's holding. He's like can a cart Slav squat? He's trying to squat menacingly so that Granger is like exposed. But I mean, to be fair, flesh cart is already just intimidating by nature, but John doesn't know that. John's just like, I have to be extra. I have to be scary. He's doing his best. Okay, cool. So so you guys, y'all are just prepping. So I mean, you're just waiting to see people.
I will
Right.
call out to this guy right here if he's still standing here.
Oh, I am binging Skype. Which guy? Talking about this dude right here?
Yeah, this guy right here.
He 100% would have moved off. He
Okay.
like dropped his gun, and as soon as y'all started like doing other stuff, he kind of stepped back. He moved away from hostile intent because y'all haven't shot him yet, but that doesn't mean you're not gonna.
Okay.
Now that he's unarmed.
I'll just call out to those that can hear me. I don't know if anyone's around this corner. I don't know that Walden killed him, but I definitely saw him go around to the
Yeah,
other
I'd
other
say,
side.
and probably y'all. Walden has been able to jog up
Right.
towards where y'all are at. I'd say he'd take up a position by you.
Okay.
With his not samurai sword.
I'll just give him a nod, Sheriff, and call out around the
So true.
around the side. It's probably best that if you go get the second in charge, sir, instead of just hiding. Your wet pantaloons will not save you now.
There's nobody around that corner.
Oh, this guy's not around this corner anymore?
That guy,
These
one of those guys is dead. I just kind of moved him off screen. He fuck it.
Oh,
he
they just
kinda-
booked it.
He booked it. You probably actually heard this door open
Okay.
and then shut.
Unfortunate. All right, well, the waiting game it is. And that'll be it for me.
Okay. so
Evening,
you're-
Sheriff.
And I'm sorry.
Hey, what's up?
I was just say as soon as he got done interacting with that one guy, as soon as he smelled fire, Gus would have like hauled ass like straight to where Belle was.
So coming inside,
Yeah. Thank
easily
you.
done.
I couldn't quite get him in there. I was
good.
doing all kinds of
Yeah. So Gus is coming on
architectural
inside.
stuff, but nothing good.
Sarah Bell, were you saying anything? You were greeting the sheriff?
No, I can assure you, as long as those individuals do not open fire upon us, this man will not be tortured by us, or any harm come upon him more than has already happened. Please don't do that magic thing.
I appreciate your forthrightness. Hopefully, they can be convinced to depart. And like y'all, there are bullets. There are like bullet holes in walls and stuff all around here from where bullets were getting popped off. Anybody that was on the street, like the streets are now empty. Because I will say, like, there had been some folks that started to be up and about in this early morning. It is now empty as a bitch. After that very short kind of gunfight y'all had. So Gus is coming inside. Clyde, what was your stealth check again?
I didn't make a stealth check. You just had me make a perception check.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. You said you were trying to be stealthy, and I forgot to ask you.
Yes, sir. My stealth check is actually the same thing. I rolled a 12, but this is +7, so 19 total.
19. Okay. The rule is meets it, beats it, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking. I'll say it takes a moment, but you're sitting there, you're looking in, and you're going, okay, I think she's fine.
I'm just peeking inside the room as far as if that person's like looked back in this direction.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if they saw me, they saw me.
That's what I'm just saying. Like, you had this chance. I'm assuming you were continuing to observe.
No,
That's
as soon
right.
as I saw where they were before they were trying to get settled in or something, I would manifest my echo inside the room behind that door and swap places with it.
I said this door, like I said, you had line of sight. That door is basically slammed to the wall, like it got flung open. That's why you had line of sight.
Well, then
So-
just kind of in
Yeah.
that general area.
Yeah. So you're coming in. I'm just gonna temporarily remove that wall. If you just want to slink yourself on in there.
Yeah, let's go ahead and slide in.
Oh God, build mode won't close. And that would base this interaction is going to come to. She'd come out, like I said, this door. I'm gonna close it just so it's not in the way. But this person would have come around leading your wife. You're stood there, turns. I'm assuming you are also have a revolver drawn.
Yeah.
So y'all are pointing guns at each other. Anything? Are you saying anything, or you just standing there?
Yeah, if she comes out of the room kind of using
Yeah,
my
she's
wife
got
as a
your wife
human-
in front of her.
What
yeah.
what is she?
An Earth Genasi.
So she's medium.
Yeah, medium-sized creature, relatively like muscular woman, has like short cropped hair, duster,
Yeah, I'll just
rifle
simply
over one
say,
shoulder, revolver currently drawn.
Yeah, I'll just say to her, battle's over. There ain't no reason for you to keep fighting. You're only causing more problems for everybody. Let her go.
I'll let her go once we're out of here, and we've traded her for Granger.
I don't think you understand the situation. You hurt a hair on her head and you don't let her go in maybe the next 15 seconds. You're not going to have a brain to make any more stupid decisions with.
Make an intimidation check.
All right. It is -2. That is
It's a
an
size
18,
modifier.
18 -2? It's still pretty
16?
good roll. Yeah.
He goes, meow. That's the -2.
Told you it's a size modifier.
Oh, no,
like
it's actually only -1. My bad. So 17.
17. Okay. Still, mulling it over, like seems to be taking in the fact that you are already wounded, but she knows there are more people outside. And she's like, at the very least, outside.
I'm
Gestures like to the door.
going to point to the corner of the room where the bed's at, and manifest an echo,
Mhm.
and have it just stab the sword into the bed, and simply say to her, "If I was trying to kill you and keep this going, you'd be dead already. Let her go."
Then you'll understand that we should both definitely leave then. You want this to be over, then let's go outside.
Clyde takes his glasses off and just kind of stares this woman down and says, "I've lost enough.
Then
You're making
let's
me pretty
go."
fucking crazy right now."
You're just gonna sit there. House still on fire.
DM, could Belle send Gus up the stairs when he came in? Because she knows somebody's upstairs. She just doesn't know who or what.
Sure. Gus cannot take actions that you do not give him. So what instructions are you sending him upstairs with?
To go upstairs and protect anybody that's from our party.
Okay. He's going up.
And I mean, he's
Clyde.
gonna go quietly, but yeah.
So she is gesturing for you guys to leave the room. Like, what are you doing?
I'll start to slowly back out of the room. Does the dog come up at any point during this?
Yeah, dog's probably coming up as you open that door that originally came in.
And
She
she's
is-
got a gun, a revolver to the temple of my wife.
Currently, she's pointing it at you.
Oh, it's just pointed at me?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're the
I'm gonna
one
shoot
with
her
a
3
gun.
times in the fucking face.
Okay, you're gonna make attack.
Yeah, if the gun's not pointed at my wife, I'm gonna murder the fuck out of her.
Okay. Roll your initiative because basically she had a held action, so y'all are both gonna start blasting.
Right. That's why
Okay.
if the dog is coming up the stairs, does she look at the dog?
I'm gonna say she is focused on you, dude.
Okay.
This is like dog was coming up the stairs as y'all were starting to come out. She's had the gun trained on you since you
You're good.
stepped out with your wife. So
All right.
you do with that information what you will.
So that is 21. Oh no, I have a +5 initiative. 23.
23. She rolled a natural 20. She will fire first.
Okay.
So she got a 24.
All right.
Guns are starting to go. Hold on. Oh boy. Scroll down to lieutenants.
If other lieutenants are getting involved, I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but she should still be under this suggestion spell.
This is not her.
Okay, just wanted to make
This
sure.
is a totally different person.
Okay.
This was the person that was firing from the window during the fight.
Yeah, I just heard you say lieutenants, so I just wanted to make sure that was
Yeah,
out there.
yeah, no, that's same. They have basically the same stat block. They just have different racials.
Cool.
That is an 18 on the first shot,
That will hit.
and the second shot's a 27.
Oh, she's got 2 attacks.
Yeah, all the lieutenants have been making 2 attacks.
Oh, okay. I thought they had multiple weapons. Gotcha.
She's been firing 2 shots from a rifle from that window.
Does she take it at disadvantage?
Sure. Y'all are close to each other, which would mean your attacks are also going to be a disadvantage. So.
No, they're not.
Oh yeah. Oh, you have gunner. That's right.
Yeah.
Second attack, so it would have been a 17 and then another 17.
Yeah, they
She-
still
since
both hit.
She dropped. Okay. 5. 9 points of piercing on the first shot.
Okay.
Shit. 14 and then I'm sorry, and then 16 on the second.
Okay. All right.
Roll your attacks.
All right. The first one's a 19 on the dice.
Okay, definitely will hit.
Second one is a 12 on the dice.
12. I think you.
Yeah, it's like +5 or 7 or something.
Yeah,
plus
that'll
7.
also hit. Yeah.
And then the melee attack is a natural 20.
Okay, so brought you had summoned your
Yeah, I can
in the
move it.
corner.
I can
Can
move
you-
it
you can
30
move
feet
and attack?
as a free.
Okay,
So,
and it
yeah,
can
it's a
also
free-
make its dexter
Right.
attack.
Yep.
So roll damage for those for me.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, that's good.
I can't move this right here. God damn it.
So the first
Won't
one
stay. There we go.
is max for 16 plus 5. So
20.
21. And then
Okay.
the next one is 17. And then
okay, down to 13.
and then the crit is 14.
14. Okay. Ow. She's up. She definitely looks hurt. How much HP are you, like, how are you looking?
I'm looking pretty rough.
Okay.
Well,
DM, would that allow Gus to enter into the initiative?
So
when
Gus
that
would have
person
been
attacked?
about, well, and that's an important question because, like I said, she's had the revolver trained on him this entire time. As soon as that information was read, he said, "Oh, if she's pointing the gun at me, I'm firing." Right.
Right.
So, I don't. Would you, if she had been pointing the gun at you, would you have shot earlier before you opened the door? Or would
before I
you
open. Oh no, I would have let her come out into the room and everything.
Is it because y'all were backed out? Okay, so y'all were backed out to kind of hear. So at that, if that's the case, I don't necessarily think her shots would be being made at disadvantage. But like we said, that's kind of neither here nor there.
No. I mean the first room, the room that this door here. When she came out of that door, I'd still be in that position.
Oh, okay. So I'm at this door right
Okay,
there.
yeah,
That one. So that door would not have opened because y'all would have gone to shoot each other before. That's why I'm trying to determining how Gus would be involved.
Okay, so he
that door. So Gus would be. I don't know if you want to move him. He would have been kind of at like the top landing when these attacks started getting made. We were just determining whether that door was open or shut. So he would be upstairs, but the door is shut. There is the sounds of a very scared mayor coming from his room still, probably from underneath a bed. So, that being said, let's see here. What a wild and crazy time. We're still going to retain this very loosey-goosey. However, we are going to slow it down to start 6-second intervals.
Yeah.
These two started. Y'all know Clyde was up there. Somebody probably saw him go climbing up along the wall.
Is my wife conscious at all?
Yeah, she is bound and gagged.
Oh, okay.
Like they knew she was a spellcaster. Clearly took precautions. So she's currently like that and going as fucking revolver shot right past her face, and your bullets go whizzing right past her face into her captor. So I'm not gonna ask where, like I said, this is relatively loosey goosey. So for the moment, I just want to know what each of you guys are doing when you start hearing. Y'all just hear 4 rapid gunshots come from inside the building. 4. Or no, yeah. But rapid gunfire from inside. I'm just gonna go kind of up on my how I've got things in Skype. Alistair. Rapid exchange of gunfire from inside the building.
I'm gonna look at the sheriff. Sheriff, someone's shooting in your town. Shouldn't you go handle it?
I was under the impression y'all had quieted things down, but I suppose as long as you're ready for whoever's coming, and he'll turn with the intent to investigate, to see what's going on.
Okay.
So other than that, are you just holding your position?
Yep.
All right, Sarah Bell. Rapid exchange of gunfire from inside the house.
Remaining.
What's that?
You're
just gonna
remaining.
You're staying in your spot. Let things run.
I guess. Never mind.
Okay, sitting tight. Bell. From literally right above you, you hear the muffled sounds of gunfire.
Belle would call out to Gus to hurry, and she's going to start. Meanwhile, she's going to start trying to open that.
Yeah.
Try to pull that thing
unlocked.
open.
You're
That
flipping
thing
it open.
open.
Okay.
Yeah, and then trying to go down whatever steps, ladder, whatever.
There's a short, like I say short. There's a ladder going down. This is like just brief rundown. You look down there. It is not a large space. This is clearly like either a smuggler's cabin or like a bolt hole originally intended. But there are crates and crates, like multiple crates full of what you assume is what you're here for. But easily, like you glean, like some of these have been pried open because obviously these guys would have looked. You see like gems and things peeking out from within crates and bags, all that fun stuff. This is what you're here for.
Okay, I'll turn around and tell Callie, I think this is it, my dear, and jump down in there to start seeing like how many crates we've got. Try to figure out a plan to get it out of here.
Sure. You're going down. Callie, what are you doing?
I'm going to go back outside and start figuring out how to put out this fire because knowing how heavy these things are, there's no way that we're going to be able to get this stuff out if the building's still on fire. So I'm going to spend whatever time I need to start, like maybe even if there's like a tarp around Alistair's cart and just, like a oilcloth or something, and just like rip it off. Sorry, Alistair. And just like try and put out this fire.
Okay. It is. I'm not gonna sit here and do a ton. While y'all have been doing what you're doing, the fire has been spreading.
Yeah.
So it's definitely manageable. As it has grown, it's gonna take a little longer.
Right.
You figure if you spend, a little bit of time, you should be able to get it under control as long as it doesn't randomly get worse, and as long as you attend to it right now.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Is like Yeah, I'm gonna spend whatever time I need to at this point in time to put out this fire.
Okay. Geist, what about you, buddy? You hear much more distant to you, but still very clearly the sounds of gunfire exchanged from the house behind you.
Yeah, it is still just across the street, so pretty clear where it came from exactly.
Yeah.
So, having been keeping an eye in that area, kind of alternating between looking over the top of his rifle and looking through the optic, and he sees the other two down there, and so that was a short-lived piece. I shall begin a more aggressive observation. Kind of indicating that, like, all right, well, now I'll begin shooting if I see people.
All right.
Do I see him posturing up to do that?
He said he called down to you, so.
Yeah. He's like, that was a short-lived piece.
Okay, I didn't
Time
realize
to
you were.
get a little bit.
Okay, I didn't hear the call down to me part.
Yeah, he was kind of calling down to you so that you would be aware, since things aren't really as stealthy anymore.
I will look over at you and say, no reason to make more enemies than we need to here. If you're trigger happy, go in the house and help.
It is not a matter of being trigger happy. It is a matter of making sure that they stay over there for as long as possible. If we wait for them to attack in force, any advantage we would have by keeping them held down now will be lost.
If you start shooting down that way, they're going to start shooting down here towards me in the middle of the street when I'm simply to try to have a talk, when those bullets will stop flying long before they actually get here. If you're going to be shooting bullets, go up there and shoot them in the people that are currently shooting. Either side, I
We
really
have
don't
control
give a
over
damn.
this situation.
I'm not in the condition to be fighting.
Then take cover. Holy shit, you're standing in the middle of the road.
My cover
No,
is
I'm
going
not.
to be outside of this town of Picton, Mr. Barrington. You take shots, you're going to be stuck up on that roof alone.
Make a persuasion check, please, sir.
Well, this is fun.
It's 9.
It's not like a
24.
crazy high check. Yeah, no, that does. Just kind of I don't know if you'd be close enough to hear, just kind of a. Very well, but if they get up close and personal, and it turns into a fight, I'm not going to be sticking my neck out. And he will not ready in action to shoot the next person to show their face.
Okay. Holding. One person down into the cellar, going to retrieve, to take stock of the situation. Feel outside still prepped to do stuff. Dog has gone upstairs and is probably at this juncture. We hear scrabbling at the door behind you, Clyde. She's just gonna try to put you down, man.
Oh, already?
All right. That's a 15 on the first shot.
That is my AC.
Have you been remembering to take away your
Yeah, you're
DR?
taking your DR.
Yeah.
from the damage? Okay. Second shot's an 18.
They both hit. It'll probably put me down, unless you roll extraordinarily low.
I have been rolling very poorly at junctures, so let's see.
Double ones.
Do they have a
14 on the
plus-
first shot.
They have a +4 modifier. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
down.
After the first shot.
14 damage.
Okay. Go ahead and fail a death saving throw because she's going to go ahead and put another round in you.
Okay.
She is not even like a deliberate. It was just she just bang bang. So probably
I
before
gotcha.
you even hit the ground, like you didn't down her. You hurt her really bad with your little flurry.
I don't make death saving throws.
Oh yeah. You immediately stabilize, right?
Yeah.
So you're good. It doesn't even matter. Bullet hits you, it just kind of does nothing. So good. That happens. Okay, so Gus would be kind of up here. And that door would get kicked open. Boy, oh boy. Okay. The immediate firefight has ended. However, technically this isn't how it works, but he's an animal. I don't see why he could not carry on actions. That door would open and Clyde would already be unconscious on the ground. Bell. So I need to know how that interprets for Gus.
I think Gus knows the smell of a gun fired.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of gun smoke
I mean,
in that room.
yeah. Yeah, like so I would like to think that he would be able to clock that Clyde was on the ground
Mhm.
and be able to tell who was holding a gun that had been fired.
Right.
Okay. So if you allow that, then he's gonna does he have 20 feet to move?
He would have been kind of at this door, so he would have
Okay.
had
So-
he could have closed that gap and basically what happened is
Okay.
the door got opened. The fucking model is so tiny. I have for your wife. When the door opened, there was this Earth Genasi woman like pushing this little cat lady in front of her as this door swung open. Clyde like kind of standing over Clyde as she goes to move through the
Okay.
door.
Okay, I was just trying to determine if he could do a charge, but so with like wolfy
could back up and
instincts
make
and
the-
senses and all that. Okay, so if that were the
We have a
case,
movement.
yeah, he probably would have backed up when he heard the gunfire and everything to get himself grounded, and then he would charge and leap over Clyde's
Make an
wife
attack.
and maul her.
Make an
So,
attack.
um,
For everybody else's whatchamacallit, her skin is now stony and like extra stony. And as it came to her turn, she got to use her bonus action this go around.
Hey,
okay. So that's a 22.
22
Okay.
hit. Absolutely.
Okay. And so
Fuck her up, Gus.
all right, 1d8 plus 2.
Max damage.
Which one's the
yeah, roll
8?
max.
Max damage.
If my math is right, I think you have to roll a 7 or an 8.
Okay, so that is 6 plus 2, so 8 plus 4, so that's 12 plus the charge.
Oh shit,
Oh,
the
Yay,
charge.
an extra 1d6.
So 12 plus 1d6. Let's go.
So 3, so that's 15.
Come on, Gus.
Does Gus get more than one attack?
Oh,
Oh.
that's not what you
fuck
want to
me.
hear.
Fuck.
No, it's not. That is not what
Her
I
being an
want
Earth
to
Genasi
hear.
is very relevant. To her,
sorry.
the only reason she's not down.
Sorry. La.
You said she was almost down, and I'm like, oh, they probably have 50 hit points. And then with 3 attacks with -2 armor on them.
Hey, it
They
doesn't
have more
say.
than
Doesn't.
they're not wearing
Yeah.
leather.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't say, so I'm assuming that means no. That if he did, that it would say in his block.
I think you do. I think he gets an extra attack later down the line.
Okay.
I mean, he's only got the one.
But today, no, he does
She
not.
she is reeling. And just for complete upfrontness, she is in single digits. Like literally, the
God
only reason
damn
she's
it.
up is because she's an Earth Genasi. Clyde would have brought her to almost down with that barrage if she wasn't.
Real quick, with since Gus charged, does that knock her down?
Oh yeah, good question. Is there a strength save to be knocked prone?
I'm sorry, there is. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. It says they must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC or be knocked prone.
Okay, what's your spell save?
So
These guys they're good shots. They're not necessarily Olympic athletes.
it is. Where's my stupid spell save DC? It is 12.
12, DC 12. She has a +1 strength, period.
Hmm.
And that's a 6 on the dice. She is knocked prone.
All right,
Loses
so Gus is just
her grip on the
her.
back of of Miss King, thrown out on the floor. Gus is currently got her knocked prone.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you allow, just for flavor, I would say that he's got his paws on her chest, just ready for his next opportunity to take another bite.
Sure. Okay.
He's gonna try to go for a throat, literally.
I'm gonna kind of get this worked out here real quick. Is everybody else kind of continuing what they were doing themselves? Y'all are staying out there. Y'all have heard 2 more gunshots. Probably Belle, you hear Gus like growling and biting. You hear a thud above you. I mean,
So if I hear that, then Belle start to bolt upstairs.
okay, so
if
you're
she's-
going from doing crates to you're
Yeah, so
going to
she's got
haul
far to
ass.
go. Yeah.
You double move. I'll say it puts you like halfway up this. Like you'll be probably maybe not halfway up the stairs, but you're on the stairs moving up there. She has literally no other choice. She has to try to shoot Gus because she doesn't know Gus is like.
If she's
controlled
prone,
by-
does she still have a hold of Rita?
like I said,
I'm gonna
she
control.
kind of like Rita has been kind of like thrown to the side, dazed, or something. What's up? Are you wanting her to do something? She is bound and gagged.
Just can
Yeah.
run.
I mean, I still got a sword. Fucking bop that lady on the head. I don't know. I was just asking if she was doing anything.
She's probably trying to move around. Like she is thoroughly
Rolling.
trussed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Can she roll?
What's Gus's AC? I'm returning to form, by the way, from last combat.
15.
15. First shot
Which
does miss somehow with a 10.
But,
I'm assuming the shots are range shots at melee with
Yeah,
disadvantage.
that's why. Yeah, I'm rolling at disadvantage. I've been rolling really good. The second shot is a 15 on the nose. Sweet
Mother.
God. That is over though. Ooh, rolled really good on damage though. 11, 15 damage. I think Gus, because Gus doesn't take any damage, right? He should be fine. He's still
yeah.
of this
Is it-
world.
Yeah, hang on one second. Let me do my, I should have typed that on there and I failed to do that.
Should be.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's good. Yeah, he's.
Because I think it's 25 hit
25.
points, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shot does go off. It's Gus' turn.
Gus's turn. He's gonna maul again. So
Okay.
let me.
Make that attack. It is at advantage because she is prone.
Fuck her up, Gus.
It went off. Fell off the table. Hang on.
Killer puppy.
Okay, the first one is a 19 on the dice.
19 hits.
And the second one is a 5. So 19. Yeah. So 19 plus 4. So 23 to hit.
Definitely hits. Roll damage.
Okay. So this one is just the 8.
Fucking Paw Patrol in this bitch. Let's go.
8. Is it?
8 total?
10 total.
Yeah. Oh wait, 10 total. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
You said 10?
It was 8 on the dice plus 2. Oh, plus 4. So 4.
Because it should be
yeah,
plus your
14.
wisdom mod,
14.
I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Plus my it's plus my proficiency
Oh,
bonus.
it's plus your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's
So,
your spell
14.
attack to hit proficiency bonus for
Yeah.
damage. Okay, that's fucking
Hi.
sideways.
That
but
is
okay.
kind of weird.
That is weird. Like,
Yeah.
very strange. Anyway,
But-
so at 10 damage,
14 damage.
14. Oh, okay. Well, she had 5 hit points, and being able to you be able to give herself resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing as a bonus action. That is, she damage reduced down to 7, which is still enough to down her.
Let's go.
Go puppy.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nap.
So, yeah, prone, fucking zeroed out there. She's in there, or he's in there. Okay. 2 more gunshots. Ravenous wolfhound sounds. Silence. Belle, you come tearing upstairs. You see a
Panic.
little,
Straight panic.
little cat woman fucking trying to haul Clyde out from under. Probably out from under both an Earth Genasi woman and while trying to avoid Gus, who doesn't know her. But you would have had enough time. It was probably beginning to menace, but when you come up the stairs and he would look to you for instruction, see this bounding and gagged woman try to haul Clyde through the door towards the stairs. And a dead Earth Genasi woman in the floor. Clyde has clearly been shot. Not bleeding out though. He seems stable.
Good. So she would say, "Good boy," and toss him a treat, rub his head, and then say, "Ma'am, are you Mr. King's wife?" Nod. Okay. Yeah. Well, and as she's saying this, she's already trying to untie her because she's like, "If you're tied up by the bad guys, you must be enemy of my enemy is my friend, buddy."
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to get her untied.
All right, you're doing that. Gunfire stopped. Callie, you are successfully continuing to beat out the flames. And at this point, let's see here. Let me do a little bit of something here. You did not see him. Oh God, he went into the wall. You did not see him get up there, Geist, but flapping up to look, peering just above that building to the opposite of you is an Aarakocra.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
I am trying to get my bearings in Tailspire. Where opposite me? Where?
Yep, opposite you to the diagonal, right here.
Gotcha.
Comes flapping up, kind of like similar kind of thing to you. Comes flapping up has a rifle clearly in his grasp. This is y'all. The rest of you guys would have actually. You would recognize him as well. This is the same Aarakocra y'all spoke to last night. This is Luke Rawlins. Flaps up, calls across. Can definitely see Geist and can see Dotry.
He was able to spot me?
Yeah.
I had re-hidden after my last
He rolled a
attack
perception check.
roll. Oh, shit. Okay.
You
At
failed your
disadvantage?
perception check to see him.
Gotcha.
That's why he's been up here. He got up here much earlier.
Gotcha. I was just making sure. I got asked.
Yep. But spotting out at you guys and calls out, "Where's Granger?"
Indisposed at the moment. Come on down, have a conversation with me. Are you second in charge? Well, his name was Mr. Lucas?
Luke Rawlins.
Are you second in charge, Mr. Rawlins?
Can he see down in the street a little bit?
He can definitely see me.
I'm seeing what all he can see. I'm seeing if he can see the corpse of the dwarf. Few of us a second to Granger. I see Brooks is down for the count, though.
A lot more than Brooks. Come on down, have a conversation with me. Someone's in line for a promotion.
I'll come down if he does. Kind of like seemed looking in the direction of Geist. And he's kind of bobbing up and down, like he flaps up, flaps back down a little bit. Kind of hovering there.
Since he has clearly seen me, that's when Geist would kind of slip back around the corner.
You're slipping back around, so you're not coming down?
Hell no. Allow me to sacrifice one of our greatest advantages if it does come to a fight. No, absolutely not.
Any response, Dotry?
So he says, I'll come down if he does, and I just see guys sort of slip back around the corner.
Yeah, you see guy slip back around the corner. He's watching that as well. You see him kind of call over his shoulder.
Mhm.
And whoops, I forgot to move these guys. Uh,
The intent DM, by the way, would be for a hide check and then to peer around the other side.
Sure. Go ahead and roll that for me. When you see him call over his shoulder, and you see 4 people go sprinting across the street.
Okay. I will call out.
A 22.
22. Very nice. Hold on to that for me. What's that? What are you saying, Dotry?
I will call out. Mr. Barrington, if you do not step down from there, we are no longer acquainted and I will no longer be on your side here. Step on down, and I'm sure Mr. Luke will do the same. Mr. Luke.
Hold on, you got super robot-y for me. I apologize. Say that one more time.
You're getting kind of robot-y for everybody. This is unfortunate.
Oh no.
Can someone just dictate in Skype chat for him so he can hear or see?
Okay.
Say essentially, I'm telling him that if he doesn't come down from there, he's on his own. And I'm gonna look up at Luke there, and say, Mr. Rollins, I think it's fair that you come down at the same time. Yes. Should my compatriot here, well, he is my compatriot. If he decides to come down, you'll do the same, correct? You can assure me you're a man of your word?
Sorry.
No worries.
Considering the number of my friends I'm missing, I'm willing to parlay.
Very well. That's so good to hear. If you are not willing to parlay, you stay up on there. Mr. Barrington, I'm going to reiterate. Come down here in view of Mr. Rollins.
One.
Oh. Back.
oh, wow, that's not going so great.
So I'm so sorry. The internet here is not rapid.
It was behaving. It was behaving until we needed it to.
Right. Until you needed to
Right?
hear and talk.
When you're sitting there quiet for like 30 minutes, that's fine. It's gonna be perfect. You say your piece about coming down, or they would no longer be allies. He says he's quiet for a moment and says, just kind of loud enough to be heard by you, but not necessarily shouted across the street. I was unaware I had allied myself with fools. I shall come down, but I will not remain in view of him. I do not fancy myself a free target. And he will, keeping an eye, kind of following the route that I'm moving the model, keeping an eye backwards. I can only move it forward, but he's kind of sidestepping backwards so that the guy can see him getting down, and he will kind of do the drop down thing.
You're getting to the floor, to the ground, or no?
Yeah, and I'm assuming making
Can I stop him?
an
I don't
acrobatics
know if,
check.
I don't know if Cody can hear me right now.
Yes, I can right now. Right now, we're right
Perfect.
in this moment. We're
As
good.
soon as you get to the edge, I'm gonna hold up a white glove to you, just as in wait. All right, Mr. Luke, I think it is Mr. Rollins. I think it is fair that we do this at the same time.
Yeah, if you're right there on that back of that, he should be able to see him starting to actually clamber down. Sure. You see him kind of, like I said, he's kind of bobbing up and down, making sure that he's not like skylining himself at the top of that fucking building.
Right.
But he nods. And he seems kind of comes up, bobs up and over, and immediately like swoops down.
Okay.
To not remain up in the air.
Got a 16 on the acrobatics check to land without
You're good.
collapsing on my ass. And
While
I'm guessing that is all I can do on that round.
We're back to being kind of loosey goosey. What's up, Kelly?
Okay.
So while I'm trying to put out this fire, I want to shout to Mr. Dotree and go, Mr. Dotree, I don't know how much experience you have with gangs and posses, but I do have a little bit of experience. So let me know if I can assist you with persuading them of going their own way, so that we can take Mr. Granger to Mrs. Sinclair easily.
Noted.
As I'm like,
Since we, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Rapidly beating the fire.
I've done this before.
You
If
don't.
you need help,
Fuck.
don't mind me.
I've done this before. Why?
Just single-handedly putting out this fire.
it's fun. I'm not worried
Meanwhile,
about
Sarah Bell.
DM, since we are loosey goosey, I'll kind of let you decide the pacing of it, but he would be kind of doing a low dash towards the west end of the building.
Okay, you're going to haul ass over there. Okay.
Yeah, the intent is he's going to get an angle from around the edge of the complex, the structure.
Yeah, they're all kind of like townhouses, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
not.
So that would be where I'm putting him now will be my end destination, and you just kind of let me know when he would get there.
You're going. Where are you at? Oh, there we go. I see you. Okay. That's presuming you're wanting to be stealthy. You'd be. It's going to take you at least a little bit, right?
Yeah, I
kinda
went
try
ahead
to-
and moved the model so you would know the
Yeah, I gotcha.
the position I was heading to.
Like I said, you saw him come up and swoop down into the street where kind of the building cut off. You would hear some jogging going over, kind of coming up to the corner of this building. Real quick, because I do need to know if he's going to be up. Belle, what are you doing? Like you've started for this woman. Oh, thank you so much. Oh. And you see, like she's checking over Clyde. You see him checking for pulse. Oh, thank God. Oh, sit off. Do you have any healing tonics, any healing magics at your disposal?
Do I?
I think you have a healing potion, don't you?
I think I do, because I think we all wait.
Didn't Clyde have
Dude.
one on him at least?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have access to his inventory. He says no. Clyde says no potion.
He says
I
no.
thought you
I
said
feel like,
potion.
I
Clyde
got
said
a
all
potion,
gas, no
gave it to
brakes.
someone else.
We do murder.
yeah, apparently not. I thought we did, but maybe not, because I'm
Yeah,
not seeing it
I
in my
think-
inventory.
I think that yeah, you picked up a potion, whatever that potion was. You handed it to me, Clyde.
Okay.
If I remember correct.
So in that case, since I do not see it in my inventory, I'm going to tell him I don't.
Oh no,
but
wait!
I want
I do have a potion of healing on me. I'm completely incorrect.
Yeah, because you said
Alright.
I remember
Your
you
wife
saying
pat you down.
it's free, so I'm gonna take one, I guess, just to have
Yeah.
something.
I totally forgot I had that.
As
Double
she's
check.
saying that, she's like checked him over. Is like, do you have any healing tonics or any healing potions? She is like patting him down. He goes, oh, never mind. Like giving a cat medicine. She's got his head tilted all the way back. Like,
She's got to pinch him by the
she
nose.
has to like
and bring-
wedge her fingers in the
She-
corners
she's
of his
like-
mouth.
she has one finger in the corner of his mouth. Her thumb is like massaging his throat while she's got it.
He fucking wakes up, starts fighting.
Do you want to roll your 2d4 plus 2, Clyde? How much
Yeah, I
hit points you
guess.
get back?
Sure. 2d4.
Oh wait,
plus
do you
2.
even roll? Does the periaptic wound closure? No, that's a thing.
That's
from
for-
Baldur's Gate. Never mind.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that is 7 that I'm up to.
Hey, HP is HP. You come spluttering back to consciousness. In
Hey,
the arms of your wife.
Yeah. He's gonna cough and just give her a squeeze and not say anything.
Embrace. Yeah. Silent.
Yeah.
Like just
Full
Um,
round action.
crying is a free action. So is hugging. Kind of like a grapple, but not quite. It's like it's a mutual thing, so it doesn't take an action.
Gentle grapple. So Belle's just gonna be like, this building is on fire, so we need to get the fuck out of here. Let's go. Y'all can reunite out in the street. And she's just gonna like go shove them along.
I assume.
If they don't get up and move, like she and Gus are getting out of there because
Y'all are
I'm
leaving, at
assuming
least.
that the smoke is starting to get in the building. I know Callie's trying to put it out, but still.
She's
so-
doing a good job. It's just taking a minute.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
taking her a
so
second.
yeah, Belle and Gus are gonna race outside to start helping Callie, work on the building.
But I assume, are you, your wife's, after y'all embrace, like
Yeah.
she's helping you get up, like you're clearly pretty badly injured.
Yeah, Clyde gets back up and
You
Says-
could have just shot her when you got outside.
I missed you.
My heart.
She smiles. It's like it's kind of a this is so weird because it's kind of like one of those where it's like, oh, you're doing that thing that gets on my nerves, but we've been together long enough that it's fine. But it's fucked up because it's killing a person, like and almost getting yourself killed. She just kind of like swats you on the stomach, like on a bullet wound.
Yeah, well,
Let's go then.
I
Sooner
hand
rather
her
than
my rifle.
You said you give her your rifle.
Yeah.
She takes it. I am missing my spellcasting implements. This will do for now. Just kind of. Y'all start making your way down as well. Okay. Camera 180. Yeah, basically, she can't cast gun. She's proficient. I figured there was no way Clyde's wife wouldn't be proficient in firearms after 15 years on the
Yeah.
frontier.
Yeah.
Like she's figured it out. She does not abide by the same thoughts as Walden, which Walden is now like kind of has come in the building, is basically turns around and immediately is like, okay, yep, put out the fire.
Would she have had like personal effects anywhere in that area that she could grab that might have some of the stuff that was on her when she was taken?
Not in that immediate area. Y'all
Okay.
would have to look.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try to grab that quickly.
Yeah,
I
so
guess
y'all
like
y'all
in the
y'all
next
spend
round.
y'all spend like an investigation looking for her stuff. Walden has heard people coming back downstairs, presumably, and he's gonna kind of turn back, and he's actually gonna position near the cart. And Anywho, okay, back to live here in the street. I'm not good at weird time fucked things. I apologize. But Luke at the corner of this house. No disrespect, but I believe we're close enough to converse. So, and he's kind of like leaning out, like he's still like he's like leaning out from kind of behind the corner of this building, looking at you, Dotry.
Mr. Rollins,
So where's Granger?
You'll come out around from that corner and you'll speak to me in the middle of this street. And you'll do that right now. And we'll do it without guns.
Kind of glances around. Where's your friend?
That's a good question, isn't it?
He just kind of cocks an eyebrow. I agree. Does not leave the corner of the house.
Mr. Rollins.
He leans back out. He's like, I can see some of them. But not that.
And I don't see all of your allies either. So this is going to take a bit of trust on both of our parts. So take a leap of faith, step out in the street, and parlay with me like you have already agreed to.
At that point, you see him. He does glance back kind of towards the side of the street where you had seen those guys run across. Waits a couple beats, and kind of. All right, fine. And steps out this kind of to where he's standing directly across from you. Genevieve has floated across to where she's now here doing the same maneuver, just kind of leaning on the rail, but now in the street.
Can I insight check her?
Sure. Just let me know what you're looking for.
I want to know if she's looking to fuck this situation up. If she means this group immediate harm, is what I'm looking for.
Sure.
Check.
Cerebel does not see her. Just rolled an 8. I'm staring at the back of this dude's head.
Natural 17 for a dirty 20 on an insight check.
20. Okay. I'm going to kind of give you a similar vibe that Clyde got when he insight checked her.
Okay.
She does not have like malicious intent towards you necessarily, or any of you. I'm trying to think the best way to phrase this that is not going to make you go, she needs to die, just for context. She is not your friend, though. Like, that is abundantly clear. Actually, in a weird like flash of like introspection, you kind of feel like she's looking at you and like this entire situation kind of the same way that you look at your subjects. Like, it feels similar. It may not be one-to-one, but it feels like not malicious or not hostile, but like there is some malice to some extent, but it's like impersonal.
Okay. And if there's one thing I know about myself is that I am not trustworthy, so noted.
Correct. 100%.
Okay. That's an interesting. Okay, cool. Mr. Rollins, thank you. I appreciate you listening here.
Kind of looking behind him, he sees the house being put out.
Being at this point in the street, I assume he also sees.
He sees the whole situation
with Granger with a knife to his throat.
He just kind of calls out Mr. Granger, who's clearly not conscious. Like, he's just kind of like, and he just looks at you and says,
Cerebel's gonna weaken and burn you the hand.
You see, like, a corner. He has a beak. How does the corner of his? I don't know. He kind of like tiny smirk that he then immediately wipes off his face. But so
you're a smart man, Mr. Rollins. You can look around and see the situation that you're in currently, which I hope you see it for the silver lining that it is. It's a promotion. Silvershot is no longer in the picture, so someone gets a new job with a lot better pay. And you and your men get to get the fuck out of this watering hole and get to go on to bigger and better things. It's truly all wins all around for you. No more blood needs to be spilled today. I myself could use a nice little nap.
Roll a perception check. Roll it at advantage, actually, considering the current situation. He knows how many people he's got with him, and he doesn't see anybody alive. He sees a couple of bodies in the streets, bodies off to the left where he came from. He sees a guy. There's probably a moment of surprise when you see him like see the sheriff. Like,
yep. Cool. Do I get to know my DC?
I mean, on one hand, I would say with the terms you have currently laid out, I'm gonna call it a DC 18 of just leave, wash your hands of this situation, and walk away.
So out of 2 dice, I just need to roll a 9 or higher. That's it.
Holy shit, you have a +9? Holy fuck. Hell yeah.
I have expertise in both persuasion and deception.
Yeah. Which I guess was the question. I'm assuming you mean it. That you do mean to let them walk away.
Yeah, I have
Okay,
no
cool.
fucking gripes about this. This seems like a win for the people of Picton, for us, for them.
Roll it.
Okay. That's not good, folks. That's a 5 on the first one. Come on. Don't do this. That is a 9 exactly on the second one.
Holy shit.
That's an 18 on the dot.
I'm going to say, like, how we're going to describe this. So you see him thinking about it. You see him glance off to the side a little bit. You figure the guys that he had with him are probably moving. And you see him a little over. And I can say you can almost hear the thoughts in his head of, like, where you can hear the hang up being walk away just right now. And you know that, like, he's thinking about all the fucking gems and shit they stole. He's thinking about that shipment and just walking away from all of that. Like, that's a lot of money to lose.
Can I make a perception check to see if I can see if this guy's thinking? Just as a, I know that Alistair rolled that 18, but I just want to say like a piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Perception is a 15.
15. What are you trying to get?
Well, just to like, if like that like thought processy of like, do I see that like the gears are turning of like weighing those pros and cons?
I mean, it's more of a, that'd be more of an insight check, but I mean, like, it's easy enough. This is like, it is relatively, I'll say like passive insight of like 10 can realize that this is a dude who's loyal to money.
Okay. I'm gonna, as if that's the case, if it's all about the money, I'm gonna shout out and go, Mr. Rollins, I know that is a lot of loot in this house here. You picked the wrong gang to rob from. Could you imagine? Mr. Sinclair sent us to get Granger, and we were able to do it. Do you really think it's worth it to go and try to take this back from us? Because I will come and kill you, and so will everybody else. There are other places you can rob easily. It's not worth it. I have no intent. If you leave right now, Mr. Daughtry here could care 2 fucks about you and the rest of this gang here. If you leave now, none of us will come looking for you.
You see him, like you said, he is mulling it over, and you see him he does like kind of a bit of a head tilt to the side, as a bit of a nod. Glances off to the side again.
And you don't have to worry about reprisal from this guy.
He's kind of.
It's true. Mr. Sinclair has something special for this one.
I would imagine.
DM, while they're having that conversation, what all does Geist see?
Yeah, you'd have definitely have gotten to kind of the corner by now. And I mean, you would see, like, looking at that corner, like, I don't know if you're looking, if you have line of sight, but you see that right here. Oh,
Right. Where?
you see kind of down the street, you see these 4 minis.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, so you'd have seen these guys would have gotten out and kind of crossed the street at this point by now. Like, are kind of making their way to back up their boy just in case. But they're not moving with any kind of urgency, because you do see, like, he has glanced over, things seem to be going all right. They're just trying to be in a position in case shit does pop off. But he is, at all this. That's true. I did feel like this job was a little more risky than it was worth. There's always more money.
It is the Wild West, after all. Go find greener pastures other places.
Well, we've come to accord.
Wonderful to hear.
You'll excuse me if we don't depart through your side of town.
No worries at all.
He just kind of holds up a hand and just kind of gestures back. Nods once more to you, Dotry. Nods to you, Callie. And takes flight, immediately cutting to the left before making his way back over the way he came. I'm just going to make him invisible. You would see, I mean, you probably can't hear the exact conversation going on, Geist, but sound of voices kind of calling back and forth to each other. And then you see these 4 guys go back the way they sit for a moment and go back the way they came, heading back down a very slender gap between a couple of buildings on this side of the street.
Sarabelle will just call out.
Hey, he didn't do anything.
Okay. What's up, Sarabelle?
Sarabelle will call out. Are we clear?
We should be good to go.
Oh, thank fuck! This guy's heavy as fuck. And just she's talking as removing. Wow, his name's escaped me. Granger. From on top of her.
I'm gonna come up to you as you're sort of like shuffling him off of you, and I'm gonna put my hands on top of yours, my white gloved hands just on top of yours. It says, "Your dear Genevieve is standing on the street there."
She's actively walking towards you guys.
I'll look back at her as she's coming up. Do be careful, my dear. Love has a vicious sting.
What's up, guys?
This is just another of the. This is what he will be doing for the next little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He would be watching to make sure that the others left. In truth, and give it a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, they back all the way off.
And I will once again. Yeah, after they're out of sight, he waits like 30 seconds to make sure they're not like circling around or getting an angle or anything.
Sure.
And I'm gonna do the thing where I show you my destination again, and then you.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself,
You
and
just
I'll
tell me if
I'll
anything
check
becomes
on you.
relevant.
You got it. So that's where you're going. Check. And Miss Sarabelle, you are told to be careful of your love.
Nope. Sarabelle's face lights up. This is a joy beyond that kind of a drug-induced state she was in before.
Mm-hmm.
The largest smile that you have ever seen, and she's done some freakishly large smiles before. Genevieve, it's so good to see you. Are you safe? Are you wounded? Did you get hit by anything?
She is slow, like she is sauntering down the street. Are you going to her? Or are
Oh
you just
yes, sprinting. Oh no,
Was
that's
it
John. That's John.
John
John!
sprinting towards her. John's super happy to see her.
John's hyped. What's up?
On the other hand,
Uh-huh.
from how much John can emote, which isn't a lot. No, it's the opposite. He's very tense.
He is not giving anybody a thumbs up.
No.
No thumbs ups from John right now. But you come running up to your family like, oh, you're so happy to see her. Are you all right? Are you hurt? As you come up and she just kind of you get up to her and she kind of places one hand on your chest. And it's like, oh no, my dear, I'm just fine. You're taller than her significantly. She put another hand up and kind of caresses your cheek. But you, oh dear, look at you. It's kind of trailing a hand down and kind of taps like a bullet hole, a bullet wound. You're hurt in a just like kind of smile. It to your eyes a beatific smile kind of graces her face. You're hurt most joyously.
Anything to. It was delightful.
Isn't it?
The elder sent me to find you.
That's so kind of her. Any words? Any message?
He was concerned of the status of your mission, and he just wanted to make sure that everything was okay.
Oh, I am wonderful. Never been better. She just kind of taps the center of your chest like as she says it. Never been better. So, you've come to take me away.
If you're complete with your mission, I know the others would be excited to see you.
Oh,
I know I am.
our mission is never complete, my dear Sir Bell. You know that.
Of course. But I've helped this. Where is he? Well, it's this cat fellow. I've helped him punish some sinners.
Probably being brought out at the front of the building. Your wife Rita is kind of propping you up, making sure with your 7 whole hit points. She's got some of her effects, like her magical spellcasting effects at the very least.
Where's the rest of them?
Well, my dear, if you're going to take me away, then take me.
She's gonna try to pick her up in the with the eight fucking wounds hit points she has. She's gonna try to pick her up.
She's a dainty little Herringon woman, easy enough. Oh, well, isn't this familiar?
The good old times in the church.
The best.
Well, you should probably meet everybody. She's gonna carry her over
How far away was this exchange happening?
right where she's at.
Yeah, right. We're kind of where they're at, kind of here a little bit away. So if you were kind of brought limping around this space.
Yeah, if I had time to catch up to the group before they rejoined, I will simply say to the rest of the party, that rabbit's crazy as fuck.
You just kind of like saying that to
Yeah, like down low key, like there doesn't seem to be a bunch of danger right now, but that Herringon is gone.
Kelly, as I'm still putting out this fire.
The fire at this point with the assistance of Gus and Belle, like y'all got it. There's like holes burned through the building, like you can see little windows in there. Alchemist fire burns hot, but you have successfully stopped the
Okay.
the spread.
If the fire's done, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're okay. Go for it.
I was gonna say if the fire is all done, I'm gonna turn to Mr. King and go, Mr. King, Sarabelle, Genevieve, whatever they believe is a little crazy, anyways. And they can have their time. I'm gonna go start loading up the loot. And I go walking towards to like get crates out.
When Callie
Belle follow.
When Callie and Belle step away, Alistair's like sticking his stuff back in the wagon or something, like messing around in there. He says, over to you. It says, I consider myself a man of alternative taste as well, but I do have to agree with you, Mr. King.
Yeah, she's dangerous. Keep an eye on her.
Your wife kind of like gets your attention, Clyde, and is just nods. Is like,
Oh shit. Yeah.
like being like she's just kind of like she's not gonna say anything, but she's like,
Oh,
rapid nodding.
where's everybody going? You haven't met Genevieve, my star bunny.
Yeah, I met her.
We are acquainted, my dear. Don't worry.
Callie is like shouting
You'll feel
through
that.
the house. Hi, I have a mission to do.
Don't we?
I'm like continuing to like.
Well, that's
Actually, oh, sorry.
that's Callie.
Yeah.
That's I don't know where Miss Belle is. If you're still inside or not.
Well, and Callie and Belle would already know Genevieve. She worked at the.
True.
Y'all knew,
Yeah.
y'all knew of
Yeah.
her,
Yeah.
and
So-
she was a little odd. She is borderline unsettling. She is on like her like the way she carries herself is very different from when she was working for you guys in Crystal Grit.
Well, and this is Mr. King and hopefully his wife.
Yeah, is my wife.
Yes, my dear.
It's fantastic to meet you. This is
You
my my dear, I mean my Genevieve, my friend Genevieve.
Rita has a tight smile on her face, and we have met.
Oh, that's good.
Cool.
And
Yeah, yes.
I
I do know Miss King.
this is very important. This is Mr. Dotry, and wow, I can't believe I have forgotten your
Agatha.
Agatha. How can I forget Agatha?
How could you?
I know.
And I correct myself. She actually, I'm sorry. She says I have met Miss Kelly.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is Mr. Dotry and his what's the word he uses? Paramour, Agatha. Mr. Dotry is promised or said that he will write about our smiling god and
That's true.
share his truth.
So kind of him. Truly, we must speak. I'll give you as many details as possible. It's a joyous word to spread. I love it myself, though I prefer actions.
Alistair has been again in his wagon, like
Mhm.
getting things ready, like he's getting ready to leave. Nobody else would see this, but he just like evil eyes the back of the wagon because it's what's there, and then
Mhm.
just a flip of, because that's what Alistair is, flips, smiles. It's a pleasure to meet you, Genevieve. Our dear Sarah here has talked nonstop about your beauty. So it is a pleasure to finally meet you.
Places a hand on her chest and just kind of looks like fakely like scandalized, like, oh my goodness.
Right,
Sarah.
Red. Oh, yeah, well, I mean, it's true. Where is Mr. Geist? Oh, I almost forgot about Mr. Geist.
I don't think you've ever heard him refer to himself as
Oh,
Geist.
the professor.
Professor.
Where's the
Barrington.
professor?
Mr. Professor. He is at this point way the fuck back here somewhere.
Does a 10 see him? I doubt it.
Uh,
I have no clue.
Did roll a stealth check. It was a 24.
so nobody knows. Nobody's aware of where he is at this time.
I think Callie, sorry, not to interrupt, but I think Callie is like being super duper impatient because she just wants to get the fuck out of here. So she's like hip with a crate, shouts as loud as she can, like, Mr. Professor, if you could get your ass back to the cot so that we can go and leave this godforsaken town. I'm sorry to ruin this reunion between Miss Sarah Bell, and you, Miss Genevieve, but I have had up to here being in this fucking town. Can we just please leave?
Oh, let me get John to help. And she just snaps her finger twice and
And-
points.
Thank you,
And
Miss
Belle
Bell.
would-
I appreciate it. Oh, hi, Miss Bell.
Yeah, sorry. I keep interrupting people. No, but so Belle like would have started originally to follow Callie to the house, but then she would have kind of like done a heel spin and gone over to the saloon and walked in and approached the saloon owner and said, James, my love, please send some of your help out here. We have some things we need to load so that we can go home. I do need your assistance right now, sir.
Roll the persuasion check.
Clyde and Rita are already. You're talking about the inn where there is one room that everyone crammed into.
Yes. That is
Yeah,
currently, people are just now starting to like peek over the rims of windows and stuff. Like
Clyde and Rita are going in there, and fucking Clyde is grumpy because he's been shot many times, and just has
good, reasonable.
yeah, still has a gun in his hand, and just goes, "Hey, Walter Chris, fucking help!" He's going back to the room to see his dog. He just waves a fucking gun, like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Roll. I'm trying. I mean,
He's not trying to be intimidating.
no.
Like, he's shot in the
I'm
shit.
thinking. I guess just roll at advantage for Belle. Like Belle just rolls at advantage.
Okay.
You're intimidating. You're waving a gun around. Makes her words so much more persuasive.
So that makes it a 10.
And I mean, there's no active shooting going on. I'm gonna say that basically Mr. O'Lind kind of casts about. It was very early in the morning, so there was very few patrons even here. Everybody else is very firmly like on ass, and he just kind of shrugs and comes walking about from behind the bar himself because nobody else really appears to be moving. But he goes to help you guys. It's like, you know what?
Yeah. And Belle will just be like, "Thank you so much, Miss O'Lynn. The sooner we get loaded up, the sooner we can leave. And I know y'all will be glad of that. Thank you." And she'll just like pat his arm, a little rub on the back of his shoulder, and get over there and start hauling crates.
Alistair is going to grab a book out of the back of his wagon really quickly and walk around the back of the building where I assume Miss Rose is kind of shaking off the suggestion at this point since the deal has been fulfilled. And
what is oh, Mr. Dotry.
Miss Rose.
Hello.
We're going to be making our way soon, but I figured I'd fulfill my part of the bargain. The very own. He'll actually, one moment, please. He'll flip open the front cover, bring out a like lacquered black quill with a raven feather on the back, sign it, and hand it over to her.
She looks very confused, like, because she knows what all has transpired, but seems to be trying to like arrange it in a way that she can wrap her head around, like, what the fuck she needs to do now.
Always a pleasure to meet a fan, and I just leave.
You leave a confused Minotaur.
Yep.
Sarah Belle, Genevieve, just kind of while everybody's getting around doing stuff, John's starting to help. She just kind of, you're still kind of princess carrying her at this juncture, and she just kind of once again, she just kind of strokes one side of your face and is looking at you, and then she leans up and like gives you a peck on the cheek and says, "Well, my dear, why don't you help your friends? It seems that they have somewhere to be, so that means we have somewhere to be."
Of course, and gently sets her down.
Oh, thank you.
On the wood, not the mud.
It's dirt. It's a dirt road. It ain't muddy. It ain't
on the wood,
on the
not
wood.
the dirt.
Surely.
And she'll just do a cursory as she's walking past, looking at the dead bodies, just seeing if they have any anything noticeably like attached to a belt or attached to like a necklace on them.
All right. Like are you looking for something specific, or you're just looking for like trinkets?
Valuables.
Valuables. You can roll an investigation check to roll the bodies. While you do that, everybody else I assume is trying to get carts loaded up. Y'all as far as I'm aware, y'all have 3 carts. You have, or just 2. You have John, 1 actual cart. And is that it?
I think Geist
We'll
has
get
one as
another
well.
cart in town.
Yeah, there are also carts in town.
I don't care who it is. We'll just take it.
You're just gonna steal?
Yeah.
Fair enough. People are not coming out into the street right now. The people that were part of the gunfight are still around. They are waiting. Like, there are definitely people watching from inside. And I mean, at this point, y'all are loading up. What's up, guys? Oh,
Damn it. Froze.
Guys, okay, guys did have a cart, is what he was saying. Okay, so y'all do have at least a couple carts. So this is a carrying stuff. Two carts plus loading someone at John should be enough, because
I was reminding y'all that his cart was over there.
Yeah. And it's like, this was a trade caravan. It was more of a smuggling caravan. So while it had more stuff than y'all could carry, like on your persons, between 2 actual carts plus John, and if y'all wanted to stash them on yourself, there would be enough. Y'all would have enough space. Walden basically, after y'all are doing what y'all are doing, he more or less fucks off. Y'all start doing your thing, and he's well, despite everything, thank y'all for y'all assistance. Make sure
pleasure.
those guys leave. As
That's
they
the
said.
plan. That's the plan.
And mean no offense. I hope for y'all's imminent departure as well. Make sure nobody's died. He basically turns and starts walking towards buildings. Like, and y'all hear him he's going like hammering on doors and seeing if anybody got shot in like crossfire and stuff.
Clyde will
None
leave a
too
couple
gentle
of
about
gold for the carts that he steals.
Alistair doesn't know where Geist is at the moment, so I'm just
Nobody
expecting
does.
as Walden's walking away from me, Alistair's just like looking at the rooftops and waiting for a gunshot to go off. I'm just waiting for it.
And at some point, like in the trips back and forth, Belle will catch her own reflection in a window and realize that she still looks like the dude, like the minion. And so she's
You probably
like, oh,
you've got
shit.
like 30 minutes left on it at this point. Like,
Yeah. So
very-
she'll be like, and like roll her eyes and drop it. Go back to looking like herself.
Yes.
23. Also, in the process of checking them, she's gonna slit their throats. Give them a big old red smile.
Okay.
You're doing that
okay.
in front of the sheriff?
He's gone.
Hell yeah.
He did walk
he
away. I will go ahead and say most of these guys are dead already.
Hmm?
These people have bled out. So you're slitting
It's been-
the throats of corpses.
Yeah.
Okay. You're going around doing that. Genevieve is kind of following you around, and like as you go, like you're slitting throats, and she's kind of rearranging them into like almost like they are in dance in the dirt, as you've done, and has kind of used like has like added blood from their wounds as like almost like a bit of flair around them just as you go. She's just kind of following behind you. And while Brad's loading everything up, that's where we're going to go ahead and take our break. We'll be back here shortly. Just taking a quick bio. Everybody, I have some players who about pissed themselves. I've been informed, so we're going to not do that. I encourage you to also not do that, so you can get some bio, get water, snacks, whatever, but leave your computer where it is because we'll be right back. I'll see you guys shortly. Bye for now. And hello, everybody. I can't see you point at me, Jones, so I just have to guess. It was just consumed by your background. But welcome back, everybody. It's us again, the same folks who were rooting, tooting, pointing, and shooting. Not very many people were pointing and shooting, but there was a little bit of it in the first half of this session, which, weirdly enough, this is the second half, if you did not gather from that particular statement. That being said, the first half of this session, our party, I have to drop my sleeves down, were handling business here in Picton. Gunshots had quietened, and then they loudened again for a very short period of time as Clyde got in a bit of a scuffle with the last of his wife's captors. The lady downed Clyde Kelly before being mauled to death by a giant wolf dog. But afterwards, taking her out, a brief negotiation was held with the remaining members of the Worm Riders. They were able to convince Luke Rollins, the only remaining lieutenant of Granger, that it was in his best interest and in his what remained of the gang's best interest to just wash their hands of this matter, move on to greener pastures, and ultimately he responded with, "There's always more money to be had," and decided to go along with this and hopefully secure his own life as well as his companions. They backed off. Genevieve, Sarah Bell's beloved Harangon, a fellow worshiper of Sanus, reunited with her. After some brief conversation that was unsettling to some, our party began looting / loading up the goods they came for. And that's where we're gonna hop back in. I do apologize, Sarah, I meant to do that while we were on break just to save us time. But let's see how many corpses we got here. We got like 1, 2, some. We'll do a quick few rolls. Let's see here. So between all of them, you find 15 gold. About 34 silver. And only about 12 coppers. Got some monies. These guys weren't super loaded down. Of course, you have various and sundry paraphernalia if you would like to loot their guns. I don't care. And as you fell around and looted them and slit their throats to be doubly sure that they were dead, Genevieve followed you around, displaying their deceased forms artfully as if laying in the dirt / planks in dance. So I'm going to work under the assumption, this is where we're going to kind of jump ahead. Y'all are intending to leave, correct? Y'all are loading up all this stuff. You're hauling it up out of there. What's up?
I would like to have a conversation with Rita about what the fuck she was doing here at some point. Maybe after reintroducing her to Turnip.
Yeah. So what was? Go ahead. What are you asking?
So what? They had you working here. What were they even doing?
They never had me working at all. I was president.
What for? To what end?
From what I overheard, the intent was to take me back across the sea to my former employer.
They
Less
said
than enthused by my departure with you.
they said that they were keeping you for some bounty hunters that had came, and that they were holding you as help. I guess they could be holding you as collateral so that they'd help with whatever they's trying to do.
I can't say for certain, but from what I was able to overhear, yes, I was being held as collateral. I was captured by these bounty hunters, I suppose, the ones that came to the farm.
You got any information about them? Because none of them's going to be saying anything to anyone ever again. That's already taken care of.
Good. I no more information than who they were sent by. But to my understanding, that I was being held by Granger and his gang to keep them around. It was something that followed them from where I don't know, I guess they attacked the caravan that your friends are currently unloading. But there were attacks on our way here.
Do you maybe overhear anything about these damn nightmares that are coming in this area?
I mean, I had them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they are, or where they came from. I would assume whatever has been making people disappear.
People making them disappear.
Except there were attacks on our way here from being on the road. A few people died.
Elemental attacks?
I don't think so. Something in the dark.
So the rabbit would probably know then.
Glances. I don't know if they shared anymore, but I only heard what I overheard.
I mean,
That
she
is
don't seem like
something they
she was
were
being
afraid of.
detained. She was just riding a crazy
No.
train, whatever direction the tracks took her.
She was plying her trade amongst the gang.
All right.
Don't know what brought it, but I'm sure it is something in there. She just kind of nods at the crates and stuff that your friends are loading into carts. But I don't know how it could be. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Not that we've heard.
Did Granger recognize you?
Not at first.
But he did later.
Eventually, yes. Once we had arrived in Picton and had some time to settle.
Did you say anything about knowing that, or did they just assume I was dead?
I think he suspected.
All right. Just bad luck then. On his part. Him being full of holes and all.
Just kind of glances over. I suppose he didn't seem to. It seemed surprised once he realized who I was. So they hadn't informed him exactly of who their quarry was. Simply that they were getting someone.
You want me to kill him?
As she gets out the dice.
She's like, let's roll for it, sweetheart.
Make it a little fun game.
Does Clyde want to kill him?
No.
No?
I don't really care either way. He doesn't
So-
feel like it's just bad luck. Like he didn't have any master plan to sell out his wife or anything. So
Yeah.
it's just a matter of his wife could be hurting and want someone to hurt for it, so he'll murder the
Yeah.
fuck out of him without blinking twice.
Right. She definitely seems to think about it.
Truly romantic.
Necromancer and a gunslinger, man.
I was not being sarcastic at all.
But after a moment, she speaks up. You said you've gotten all of the bounty hunters. They're all
Yeah,
dead,
they're
you
all-
are sure.
They're all gone.
For a second, you see her like tears start to well up in her eyes before she.
Trail at the farm's covered up. Robert's buried. Great respect.
And those deaths are good enough for me. I do
Alright.
not wish to retread old paths.
And with all the business taken care of, he'll give his wife a nice big hug, cuddled up with their big old dog, and try and cope for a few minutes until someone comes knocking on the door for them to get the stuff out of their room that they are currently.
Yeah, I would assume eventually.
Yeah.
Price collected. And you all head out, intending to just make your way back to Picton. This all happened like first thing in the morning, so y'all basically have a full day of travel ahead of you. Significantly more loaded down. Like I said, y'all could have loaded up just the carts you guys possessed. Like it could have all fit in there. Probably would have been easy enough to steal an extra if y'all just wanted an extra just in case.
Yeah, I was going to get an extra for me and Rita and Turnip, so that I can't ride Turnip and just leave my wife to walk, and I'm probably too fucked up to walk anyway, so we'll just get a cart.
Yeah, she can ride, John.
That's okay.
I mean, there's plenty of room in Geist's cart. It was not very full. It had like a chest and a couple of bags in it. It's a whole fucking cart.
Right, but all of the gear, all of the loot from the thing.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
So having that extra cart definitely makes it a
Yep,
little
yep.
more even.
I mean, a cart for two small tabaxi is easy for them to like lay down and sleep in and be like a full-on tent. So getting a small cart for the two of us will be more than enough to be an easy way. He ain't trying to make his wife rough it after being fucking
Right.
shot and captured.
That's fair.
Right.
DM, as we're
Yes.
just as we're loading, and we don't have to do anything big about it, but I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna expel my channel divinity to regain a spell slot, but then immediately use that spell slot and use detect evil and good as I'm loading up the crates, because I think that we have all sort of talked and chatted about like the materials, and I just want to see if like any of this is giving me
Bad juju.
What- yeah, the bad. Well, I mean, like again, going back to Callie, straight up felt the fiend and or whatever, like all the bad
Fiendish
feelings.
presence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fiendish presence, and so she's. I think now that things are settled, she's like, man, we still haven't gotten or like dealt with that, and it's like sitting in the back of her mind.
I mean, you cast detect evil and good.
Mhm.
Nothing.
Okay.
Except for Turnip.
Well, I mean,
except for the things that you've been made aware of previously.
yeah.
That are amongst your party.
Okay. It is.
Roll a perception check though for me.
Yeah.
And I need to. Have I ever mentioned I'm a really shit note taker as a DM? Because I am, and I am sorry about that.
You said insight or perception?
Perception.
16.
16. You cast detect evil and good. You're looking over everything. Nothing is pinging off of your detect evil and good. But y'all have been hauling stuff out, quick, fast, and in a hurry. and almost everything is in crates or like sacks, except there is a singular, small, like lead bound, like almost like a jewelry box, like no smaller than a bread box.
You said lead?
Metal.
Okay. Because it just says, because it's,
Lead doesn't necessarily pertain to the detective evil and good that you were casting at this time.
Okay, because it's like it can't penetrate a thin sheet of lead. So that's the one. So that's why I'm just like,
Sure.
I'm gonna roll something for myself to see whether
Open it up.
with a natural 2. Yeah, Callie, like, I guess like peeks it open of like, the fuck is this?
You go, and it is sealed, not with a lock, but it is. You just have to undo a clasp it was on there to keep it tightly shut. As you go to lift it open, iron flask, beholder, good luck. No, you lift it open, and you can like almost feel the magic of your detect good and evil go to spill in to it as you lift it, and there's a faint light from inside the jewelry box, and still nothing. As you finish opening it all the way, and nestled in the middle and among like cushions and everything, like it is being kept very pristine, is a gem, probably about the size of a golf ball, multifaceted, like almost shaped like a golf ball, except instead of little indentations, it is the flat facets of it. And you're looking at it, and it looks like this is just a finely worked diamond. But then you kind of turn and shift it, and the light hits it a little differently, and it's brilliant emerald. Shifts from a different angle. The bluest sapphire. Blood red ruby. It's not just that the color is changing. It feels like this is almost a different gem, depending on how you were looking at it. And there are etchings on each of these tiny sides of it, going around the entire thing.
Can I make an Arcana check to see if I recognize the etchings?
You certainly try.
That's only a 13.
13. You're unsure. Nothing that you recognize.
No, that's fine. I think that I like close it and go, this is the thing that Sinclair actually cared about, and like tuck it into one of my pockets because I want to make sure I get it back to him. Also, I think Callie's gonna need a little bit of leverage because we're bringing back Granger, and he's certainly gonna say something. At least that's what Callie thinks. So,
yeah. I mean, with 13, you don't know what they are. It is clearly magical. I mean, those runes, like 13, I'll say at the very least, you know those are arcane runes. You don't know what they mean, though.
Yeah.
Okay. So you tuck that away. Are you trying to be stealthy about it at all? Or are you just in your pocket?
No. I mean, unless if somebody says something, I'm going to go, Mr. Sinclair did tell me to take care of it, so.
Whoever feels like they would have been around to see that, you would have seen her pocket it and say that.
I don't think Alistair is around at all, actually.
Okay.
Probably would have been, but she probably wouldn't have said anything out loud. She just would have raised an eyebrow. And then, if Callie said that, she would have just been like, be careful, my dear.
Did Geist rejoin the party at all? Or did he hide off to the side the entire time?
I was waiting to be addressed to answer exactly that question. He would have rejoined the party either as they were leaving the town, if there were no other people in sight, or shortly thereafter, if there were people in sight.
So, like I said, whoever would have seen that Callie has pocketed that little box with the shiny ass gem in it. You guys load up
Geist did not.
and depart Picton.
I want to interject one thing, just
Sure.
really quickly. It's going to be completely luck based, but
Okay.
Alistair scouted it out for too long to just let it go completely.
Mhm.
He's going to swing by the church, Wagon and Agatha by his side.
What's he looking for?
He's going to see if the pastor's there.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Oh, I get +5 to these. Let's go. A 17, 12 plus 5.
I'll say by the time you go over, you swing by, and as you do that, you can see the door being kind of cracked open after has been like almost an hour of no gunfire. People are starting to kind of peek out, and you do see kind of the door open. You do see the face of Russ Kincaid kind of peeking out. You can see some folks in the shadows behind him of their church.
Multiple people.
Yeah, through what you can see, because he's opened it enough that he can kind of stick his head out, and he's like kind of looking around, listening.
Mr. Kincaid, all the gunfighting's over. You folks are safe to go home now.
Oh, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Hopefully you don't have to be worrying about those dreams anymore either, folks. So
His light willing.
I'm mostly addressing the people around him.
Yeah, you say that, and like I said, he's just, his light willing. We will be cleansed of these dark visages. You say it is. He's stepping all the way out and just kind of opens the door and starts kind of beckoning folks out.
Yeah, as folks just exit out, I'll tip my hat to him as they do. Mr. Kincaid, just a few moments of your time before I depart here. And I will wait until folks get away, far enough away to where I can cast Charm Person on him.
Okay. As they're walking out, like he says this, of course, all my time is given to all those who tread in his light. And he's doing like a whole lot of the light be with his light be with you, and also with you, as people are leaving. A few bits of like side conversation as they go.
And I sized this guy up before. He didn't have a pistol or anything on him, did he? He was just a dude?
He was just a dude. He was armed. Like, he had a gun. But, I mean,
Okay.
like, it's the kind of, like we said, more or less everybody's got one. Like, they are armed. You either have a gun or you're able to cast some kind of magic.
But other than that, he just looks like kind of like a guy with a gun.
Yeah, basically. Like, he's carrying it because it'd be really fucking stupid not to.
Gotcha.
But you said after the people depart, you're casting Charm Person?
Yeah, I'll make a little bit of side conversation with him and cast Charm Person on him. DC 15 Wisdom.
That's fucking 8 on the dice. He's not making that, hombre.
Okay. If you would, join me and my wife. I want to show you a bit of the town now that it's been restructured a little bit. Some areas to avoid and stuff. Just hop on up here on my wagon.
Well, your kindness is appreciated.
Absolutely.
A blessing.
Absolutely. You have to take a seat in the back. My wife here is, a claustrophobe, if you will.
Goes and takes a seat in the back of the wagon.
Cool. I cast Sleep.
Roll the d8s just in case.
Okay.
think it's more or less impossible, but
I think it's
you never
5
know.
D8.
How many D8s?
I think it's 5.
I think it's 5.
I just want to double check and make sure that it's 5d8. Yes, 5d8. Okay.
I'm asking to roll because by living here, I kind of like my personal thought is like anybody who lives here, probably a little tougher than your average 4 HP commoner.
Is he 29 HP tough?
No, not absolutely not. I said it'd be very hard to fuck up, but it was possible. So, you just hear.
I am gonna kiss Agatha on the cheek and say, "Out of town, dear. Let's go." And I am going to climb in the back of there, and I'm going to manacle him to the floor holes in the cart, and we're gonna ride out of town like that. And I'm gonna shove like something in his mouth, give him poison or something to keep him knocked out right now.
You gag him.
Yeah.
Oh, you drug him. Okay.
I got a couple of more sleeps in me as well as poison potions, whatever you want me to expend to make sure that we're out of town. I'll do that.
I mean, doesn't sleep last for an hour?
No, sleep only lasts a minute. Charm person lasts for an hour.
Yeah. I see. I'd say you expend one of your poisons. I don't say it's one that, Agatha, a sleeping draught is something in her wheelhouse.
Cool.
That she knows how to make.
One poison gone.
DM, does it seem like Mr. Granger is going to be living any particularly long distance after he gets back to Sinclair anyway?
You roll a insight check like retroactively.
Okay. That is 12.
I'm gonna say even with a 12, you really, really doubt it.
Okay, cool.
It sounded like Sinclair wanted him there. Like,
okay,
he wanted him.
Gotcha. I'd like to, kind of just before we skip out of town, find the sheriff real quick and address him. Hey, about to get on out of here.
Right.
Can you do me a solid for helping you get your city back town?
You didn't shoot me, so I'm willing to listen.
What kind of proof you need for collecting on a dead bounty?
I think that depends on the bounty. Some people will take, if the person placed it is either magically inclined themselves or has folks at hand who are magically inclined, they can identify based on body parts. Some are willing to take you at your word, depending on how bad they wanted them dead.
Let's just say me and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
You think you can make it happen? What would you need?
His eyebrows kind of go up. Roll a persuasion check for me.
15 minus 1.
15 minus 1, so 14. I mean, he's got an eyebrow arched. Like I said, I don't know who put out the bounty. That would kind of be an indicator. You think there's somebody who may be able to identify a body part? Maybe something you think that you wouldn't give up without being dead. They feel like it was something important.
All right. I kind of turned to Rita. Anything you willing to give up?
Shit. And I mean, she knows who's looking for you guys.
Oh yeah.
And she's thinking really, really hard about it. She reaches into like her pouches and stuff that they all kind of re-requisitioned. And then takes her hands out of the pouches and reaches to her side and pulls out her wand, her spellcasting focus, which you would know full well that she has had since well before she met you.
Right.
This is a spellcasting focus that she crafted herself at the end of her, like, basically wizard apprenticeship. And you know that through conversation and stuff that you guys have had, that regardless of whether like it's the most effective, like she's had other foci, but you keep the first one you make. It's a symbol of accomplishment and where you came from and everything. It's very, very important. She stares at it and thrusts it out towards Granger. He looks a little like confused, but do you think that'll do it, ma'am? Takes it from her.
Clyde's gonna pull out a sword and with a and take the sheath off of his belt and bite down on the sheath and cut off half of his tail.
Ow! Oh.
Hopefully you get a short rest in. Cuts off fast as fuck.
Fucking eats himself.
I'd say you could have had a short rest. Sure.
God damn. Not, not the tail.
I also have cure wounds and 5 lay on hands still, so we can.
Oh no, fine. I mean, he won't die. You know that outright. He'll stabilize.
Yeah. He'll
be
stabilize.
unconscious.
Don't cattails, like, isn't that their balance and everything too?
And how they communicate with other cats.
Walking.
This is for Rita Kelly and Calico Clyde Kelly. Collect the bounties, fix your fucking town. Never mention you saw me ever again. We burned to death when Silas Granger got put down from some do-gooders coming from nearby. Been working here with them the whole time. The rest of the posse's gone. Worm riders scattered to the winds. What's left of them?
That plots the truth. I can respect that kind of dedication. I'll do what I can.
Insight check.
Yeah, roll it.
10. Fuck.
10. I mean, this dude at least seems to be stand-up guy. I mean, he tried to stop a murderer from being tortured further, so he must have some amount of principles.
Sure. Clyde will take off his glasses and stare at him for a couple of seconds, and without saying words, in the manner that Clyde carries himself, and if the guy ever looks up the name, or if he even knows the name, understands that he will come back and murder you. That Clyde will come back and murder him if people come looking for him, coming from this town, type kind of thing. Like, please do not fucking double cross me, because I will kill you.
There is a distinct lack of recognition at the name.
Okay.
But I mean, he seems to. Yeah, I mean, he seems to kind of get it. He's like, he seems to understand.
Cool. I won't stay by. I'll just turn around and leave.
He kind of casts a little bit of magic to stop, like, blood stops dripping from the end of your half of the tail. He just kind of opens up like the inside of his coat and just kind of puts that and your wife's wand in there and goes back about his business of like going and banging on doors and telling people to get the fuck out of these houses and do something because they haven't done anything in like over a week, and also making sure nobody's been shot.
Yeah. Clive will throw his arm around his wife's shoulder for affection and a little bit for balance, because that's fucking weird.
Disadvantage on all acrobatics checks from here on out.
Disadvantage on
For now.
dexterity and strength checks.
Period.
Just period.
I mean, strength would be fine. It's your balance, sense of balance and stuff.
But yeah, and then we'll mosey on out of town.
Anytime you do that like full ass sprint that you did at the start of last combat, you gotta make a dexterity saving throw to not just base.
It'll take a good, I don't know, maybe like a week's trip.
Yeah, you gotta get used to it.
With the training, but
all right, you guys. Anything else? Last call. Anything else anybody wants to do here in Picton? Fantastic. As you guys leave, folks are starting to come out in the streets. I'm sure Sarabelle and Genevieve get some satisfaction out of some last glances over their shoulders and seeing people really weirded out by the slaughtered dancers. I'm not sure how it's referred to that. When you guys depart, you're heading back on familiar ground. I'm going to say, like, you guys more or less have a full day of travel. Y'all did get up relatively early. I say relatively. Y'all got up fuck as hell early. And Geist actually already has a level of exhaustion.
whoops.
Yeah. But you guys travel. Y'all now are like a little more loaded down. You're not traveling quite as quickly. You also don't have necessarily the emergency that you did previously. So, you go. And the day passes. Sun climbs high, begins to dip low. I assume you guys are camping tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything anybody wants to do before they go to bed?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have a task.
Oh yeah, you've had a dude just
I've got a
in
task.
the question. Are you doing anything earlier throughout the day, or is there just potentially somebody going, clang, 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 like? So you guys probably hear manacles.
I'll stay behind them.
Okay. Also, where is Granger?
It's in John, I believe, right?
Yeah,
is he
and
still in
John's
John?
part.
Okay, because he wakes up about 4 hours after you guys leave. Like 1 hit point a dream, baby. Did y'all just manacle him, or did y'all also like gag him?
I assume
Or
we
what?
would have patted him down and left him.
Yeah,
with
I assume you
nothing
took
on
like
his
his
person.
weapons
Yeah,
and
like
stuff.
super firmly trust. Like this man is not going anywhere, especially
Mm.
Callie is straight up not fucking with that.
Gag
Oh,
as
okay.
well,
I
or
was gonna
no?
say somebody else
Darn.
needs to check that rope because Sarabelle's confident in her
He's
rope time.
manacled, so
Also, didn't John have a couple of hands over his mouth?
How many hands
Poison.
has John got?
Just one.
All,
Just the one.
all of the hands.
Just the one. But so he was
I just need to know
effectively
if
gagged,
his
right?
mouth is blocked. And I'm going to give you context because all of you would know this. He is a Dragonborn. He has a breath weapon.
Yes. Like
Okay.
I don't want it. Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I needed.
Not fucking around with that.
You know, he's Silver Dragonborn, so it's cold. But you know, who knows? It's not. He's not gonna be able to burn through the gag at the very least.
We take no chances.
You guys will need to tie him up. Alistair has re-procured his
Oh,
manacles.
okay. That was your only set of manacles. If somebody would like to roll an extra survival check
Not
for
me.
his bindings.
Yeah, I'll
Miss
help
Bell.
him.
Oh yeah, I was like, who?
30,
Like
20.
who?
30, 20. Much better than I think the 7 that Sarabelle rolled previously. So he does wake up eventually, and after some kind of like, and I assume more or less getting ignored / poisoned, settles down. Because, I mean, there's not shit he can do about it right now. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
just keep breathing that in.
so. I know you said you're riding in the back. Whoever, I just give me some general perception checks to everybody.
Yeah, well, Agatha can't have him on the IV drip.
I mean, if you want to start spending all the poisons you've got,
16 for perception.
16,
15.
22.
22. I will ask you. You are
12.
welcome. You are welcome to start if you want to continue using the poisons in your stockpile to keep him asleep. I mean, I'll allow it. But it just means it's gonna cost more of your poisons.
Sure. How many? I got 4. I don't know.
I'll say
I got 3
one.
now.
One is good for 2 hours.
Okay. I'll knock down another one.
So I mean, to the end of the day, you would need to spend about 4 because I figured at least an 8-hour day of travel.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
All of them are used.
Okay. And I was like, that is if you were intending to keep him asleep until y'all camp.
Sure. See, Agatha just has him back there with the IV drip of poison
Basically.
going on. Yeah.
Basically. All right. So never mind. Those perception checks wasted. Y'all hear nothing.
Whenever
is that an
Granger
owl?
does wake up, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Whenever Granger does wake up, I will at least like come over and hop in the back of the cart and just kind of tell him, "Well, you had my wife, and I understand it's just a stretch of bad luck. Business is like that sometimes, and I guess that's why your ass is going back to the other town. Well, it's just business. Not lucky."
Okay. He does try, like, he kind of.
Clyde didn't get to be as old of a killer as he was by doing stupid shit. He doesn't care what he has to say. He's just letting him know it. Professional courtesy. He wasn't out for revenge on him or something like that. He's talking to a dead man. It's one of the most worthless things you can kind of do.
Okay. Tries to speak to you a few times before until you leave, but you said you're not risking it. That's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay. Going back off. Guys, did you want to say something? I'm sorry. It looked like you were raising a finger.
Yeah.
No.
Geist is being very, very, very quiet, actually.
Okay. In that case, now we make it to camp. So, whatever business people would like to address, the floor is yours on this first night of travel.
Cerebel wants to talk to Geist, but leaving the gag on.
What?
You mean Granger?
Granger, geez, yeah.
Yeah, I was
you know,
like, wrong person, my
geez,
friend.
whoa.
We missed a whole level
Granger.
You forgot to voice
Stop.
the first part of that scene.
of yeah.
No, you didn't, please. Leave it unsaid.
So glad we came to an understanding with your dear sneaky friend. So nice. But
I know
you
that's the crazy part. Geist is gagged. His hands are free.
yeah, it's just anyway. So you are going to speak to Granger.
Yeah.
Got
You know that there's still time to accept faith into your life.
Did you say you took his gag out?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
She's insane, but not insane. Okay.
He looks at you saying this, and he seems to go, like he seems to be very clearly trying to enunciate something that's fucking impossible.
Yeah. Sanus is a fantastic god. Very loving, and just wants to bring joy into your life and those around you. And as your life is coming to an end, you could devote your last moments to his worship.
Like he's like just continues. Genevieve, of course, accompanied you on this conversation. And she just kind of is, you're talking in front of him. She's kind of gotten to where she's kind of behind him. And she's kind of like running her fingers across like his jaw and up. And she's leaned down and as you're talking about, accepting the joy of Sanus into your life, your life, and turning to that joy, she basically, you can see her like starting to whisper into his ear, about the joyous end that awaits him back in Crystal Grit, and how I've met Mr. Sinclair, and I'm sure that he's going to be so happy. Just trailing her fingers up the side of his head, to see you again. I get the impression that his taste, and she just kind of goes on.
Is this on the trip or after we get to camp?
When we get to camp.
If Geist had not already left for his little his walkabout to check for threats and hiding spots and stuff, he probably would have left right then. Like, no, not here for this.
Well, I hope you'll consider. Be ashamed to, I don't know, go into the next life without some faith.
He looks incredibly creeped out. But now, as you said, you kind of say that, and then you're walking away again.
Mm-hmm.
As you do, Genevieve comes and she kind of loops her arm in yours. My dear, as much as I'm sure Mr. Granger is doing his work, there's such joy in the sweet agony of passing in his rites.
Of course, you're right. I hope that he could find something before he goes.
But you know that people are so afraid. It's foolishness, but sometimes they have to be persuaded, given a taste of those joys that he offers.
I know that he'll experience some of it when he goes to Mr. Granger, as he said. Or
Sinclair.
Not Granger, Sinclair. I'm bad with names, y'all. Just like those bounty hunters that were after Mr. King's wife. I made sure that they were able to meet our God, face the consequences of their actions.
I'm so glad to hear that your devotion has not wavered.
Of course not. It would never, never.
Good. I'm glad. Come. The night is beautiful.
Many beautiful things out tonight.
Smiles. So, who's next?
I want to saddle up next to Miss Bell and sort of tip my head and go, Miss Bell, I'm sure you probably have many a question, and I'm in the mood to share simply because I'm afraid of what might happen when we get back to Crystal Grit.
You are muted.
We can't hear
I
you.
believe.
Can you hear me now?
There
Can
you
you hear
are.
me now? Okay. Yep. So Belle would have posted up near the fire. This is where Callie would have found her, right? She had refilled her flask. She's drinking fairly heavily and seems to be playing poker with herself. And, she would turn to Callie and go, whatever you feel like you would like to share, my dear, I am always here for you.
I know, which is why I figured I'd share now. Miss Bell, my name is Calipepla Orveda, and my father's Corvus Orveda, and he is one of the high and mighty members of the consortium. And he does want me back, mighty something. And I don't want to go back.
If you don't want to go back, Malia, then you shall not go back while Gus and I are here. You are Callie, and you are our friend.
I do appreciate that. I do fear that Mr. Granger might try to use the fact that he's found me out as maybe some leverage when we bring him back to Mr. Sinclair. So I might be skedaddling out of town right quick if that happens.
If that needs to happen, dear, you just let me know. We'll make sure that there's something to get everyone's attention while you do what you need to do.
I do appreciate that, ma'am.
Of course. And before you go, she'll pull. There's a hand that she hasn't touched over to the side of the cards, and she's going to pull one out, and it's the Queen of Spades, and she's going to give it to Callie, and she's going to say, Queens are one of the most important face cards in the deck. They're a symbol of leadership, reaching the stage in your life when you're happy in your own skin, finding your niche, becoming a person other people look up to and follow. Basically, my dear, a badass, a boss. And the Queen of Spades is very often considered the death card. And so, my dear, I give this to you.
I do appreciate that, Miss Bell. Let's hope that I can stay with you in Crystal Grit, if our luck holds fine. And I think I sit down and just next to the fire. Just
DM, would that
Yes,
have
sir.
been during, before, or after Geist's walkabout?
That is up to them. If you said you did it right when you guys first started, like when you guys first stopped, then that is up to when Callie thinks that she had that conversation.
I think this is sort of like right before we post up for our shifts.
And Belle is not being subtle. Like she would have been, been quiet and subtle for Callie, to not like give away any of the things that Callie had said. But she's clearly tipsy and she's not trying to be subtle about the card thing at all. As a matter of fact, she probably kind of invited attention.
So if it was before your watches, he probably would have been back. Would y'all allow a perception check? Because if he caught the early part of that conversation, he would have actively been trying to eavesdrop it.
Yeah, well, Cassie's, or not Cassie. Why do I keep saying that? Callie is not, it's my own goddamn name.
Names are hard.
I know, names are hard.
They are.
No, Callie is not trying to hide. Like, obviously, like, this is in the, like, it's not like she's pulled Miss Bell aside. Like, anybody who is actively sitting around the fire could hear.
He would not be sitting around the fire, but I guess the check would be he is trying to listen in without it being obvious that he is doing so. This is definitely a trying to avoid being noticed. Maybe a deception or stealth check. Your call.
I mean, if you're close enough to hear it, then you're close enough to hear it. Like, this is a small camp.
What would you like me to roll, if anything, if he is trying to avoid you noticing that he is listening?
I guess a deception check to like if to make it so that you're not paying attention, or like you're not actively listening in.
Be 23.
Oh yeah, you definitely hear it. There's
You're Gucci.
And so if you're close enough that Belle sees you, right, that she just notices that you're there, not necessarily noticing that you heard, but noticing that you're there, she's going to kind of tipsily look up and say, and Professor, please come here a moment. if I could have your attention for just a moment.
Sure. Yeah, he's been quiet the whole time. He was probably like not at the fire, but a little bit further off, doing his at this juncture to y'all very usual, very detail oriented like weapons maintenance routine. So just kind of set down his wood polish and drag that he'd been using to polish the rifle. And walks over.
So she's
Yes,
just
ma'am.
kind of sitting in the fire and, again, messing with the cards. And she reaches over to that hand that is set to the side and she pulls a card and she hands to Geist the King of Spades. And she says, each king in the deck of cards represents a great king from history. The King of Spades is the embodiment of logic and reason. He is fair, he is just, and sometimes he seems cold. I give this card to you, our dear professor. She turns back, takes another swig, starts to play with the cards again. She kind of look around a little, how you just kind of like look around when you've been drinking. And is anybody else nearby that she might see?
I don't imagine it's a super big camp.
In response to what you said to him, he would have probably just like looked at you quizzically for a few moments, and wouldn't say anything. He would tuck it into his vest pocket and go back to what he was doing.
And if she saw Mr. King, she would, Mr. King, oh, and dear Mrs. King, I'm so glad that you were able to join us. Mr. King, might I borrow you for a moment?
Yeah, sure. And he just kind of probably sitting on the front of the wagon would turn it between him and his wife. They're both kind of like petting her, and he'll hop up off of it, hop up off the wagon and head on over. Yes, ma'am.
You have been through so much, sir. And she leans over and grabs another card out of that hand that's getting smaller and hands Clyde the Ace of Spades. It says, this is a card of power, Mr. King, a symbol of strength and authority. It's often the highest ranking, most superior card and can determine who emerges victorious. Many, many armed forces throughout history have adopted this symbol, the Ace of Spades, to signify their most powerful units. I'd like you to have it, sir.
All right. I'll take it and put it in his front pocket. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir, for all you have done and for all you go through.
Walks back away.
Does she
Sarabelle is
see?
at the fire.
Sarabelle's at the fire.
Not paying attention to anybody except for Genevieve.
Of course.
But she's there.
So, yeah. So Belle, another big swig. She looks up and says, my dear Sarabelle, you did find Genevieve. Genevieve, my dear, it's been some time. I hope you're well.
Oh, I'm very well, Miss Bell. So I'm surprised you even remember me. You
You
were so
were such
kind.
a dear. You were such a dear. Of course I remember you, dear. Sarabelle, darling, could you come here for just a moment? I have a gift for you.
Oh,
Go,
I'll be right
go,
back.
go. It's fine.
It's just a little something. There are only 2 cards left. And she picks up one. It's the 10 of Spades and hands it to Sarabelle. It says, my dear, do you know the 10 of Spades? Are you familiar?
I'm not sure.
It's usually considered a harbinger of transformative change, tumultuous upheavals, or perhaps challenges that may lie ahead. I'd like to give this to you, Sarabelle. And this, you may notice as she hands it to you that this is a very, very old deck of cards. It's very old and very worn. The edges are tattered.
Oh, thank you. Cerebel's going to lean forward. And if you don't stop her, she's going to place her fingers like this
Uh-huh.
and look into your eye to make sure you're not dying.
Meds check.
Be like, darling, are you all right, my dear? Is everything okay?
Are you okay?
I am. I'm just humor an old woman. I'm a bit melancholy this evening.
She looks at you again. Okay, you're not old, but thank you.
She kind of chuckles. Sometimes the year's way heavy. Heavier than other times.
She puts it in the good old boob pocket.
Best pocket. Most convenient.
It's the only pocket, frankly.
Hell yeah.
It's the only one you can count on.
You're telling me an artificer can't give herself pockets on her pants?
Not
against
more
the law.
dependably than the boob pocket. Oh,
Cerebel doesn't wear pants.
true.
You just
Hey,
Donald
but your
Ducking it?
dress should
Like,
have pockets.
Yeah.
She's got dresses.
Okay, artificer can put if an artificer can't put pockets on their dresses, who can?
Look, the
Pretty
dress
sure
I
an
bought,
artificer can put pockets on skin, especially.
Flesh crafter. You should have hella pockets. You
Hey,
should never
hey.
be without pockets.
I do have hella pockets. It's called John.
That's just a bigger
Fair.
purse. What's the point?
Also fair. I just had this vision of Cerebel and all her like tattered glory standing there with her hands in pockets on a dress going, "There's pockets." Do you like it?
This, no pockets.
No pockets?
No pockets.
For shame.
Anybody else?
Would at this point, with just the one card left, Belle would actively look and look up for Alistair. Alistair, would she see him?
Is Alistair.
Alistair.
Alistair would not be anywhere near the campfire, nor the camp itself at all. He'd be several hundred feet off. As soon as I saw y'all go and pull off to the side, I would do the same. So at about this time, by the time y'all have camp set up, Alistair would have a similar site set up. But it is not a camp and it is not warming. It is precision, it's medicinal, it's sterile even. He has the top of his wagon cover off the oiled canvas laying on the ground and going up the trees as if it were a covered room. He has a piece of the cart, like the bench of the cart, off and on the ground. On that bench, we see the pastor, Kincaid, bound and gagged still, with the drip probably just weaning off. You see Agatha just sitting with a smile on her face, kicking her feet back and forth because she knows what's to come. And Alistair standing over Kincaid, taking off his bow tie, takes off his vest, shirt finally as well, hanging them up nice and neatly. Precision. Hangs them up. And we see him in a tank top, though, like just a white tank top undershirt as would be appropriate for the time. And his suspenders going over them, but you would see Alistair's shoulders as well. And they're covered in scars. Circular burn marks, cuts, abrasions, a plethora of scars on his shoulders. And he would take his gloves off, and very much the same, and his jaundiced skin going to like his blackened ends of his fingernails. And he would take a silver coin, or an iron coin really, out of his pocket, place it on Kincaid's forehead and just wiki wiki.
Oh. Well, where am I? See, he's bound, kind of.
He's bound and gagged still, so he.
Oh,
Can't...
he's and gagged. Looks, he's pulling at his bonds. Looks confused, like definitely, like in that moment, he's woken up for a drugged stupor, and is definitely very confused.
While he's getting his bearings, Alistair is just gonna start talking to him. You'll have to forgive me for my chicanery there, Pastor. I required your presence. Finishes hanging up his clothes and walks over. You know, many a folk have called me many names. Godless, heathen, a fiend even. I have to disagree with him. You see, I think I'm quite a godly man myself. You see, wherever I go, prayers are drawn forth from the lips of weak men. Tell me, Kincaid, where's your God now? And I'll undo the gag.
He is very visibly shaken. Like, he is pale, like, actively is starting, like, is a little, like, sweating a little bit. I do not understand. Why are you doing this? What is this? His light is all around us.
Yeah.
Blesses the steps we take every day through trial and tribulation alike.
Yes. Has he blessed your steps up to this point?
He's looked after me all my life. I've made it to this point through whatever he has seen fit to place in my path. That's a test of my faith.
Oh, and is it tested at this moment, Mr. Kincaid?
Just a big swallow. Why? What has... What? Just like is looking around. I mean, I don't know if there's any visual indicators of your intentions in this space.
Not at this very moment.
Not at this very...
If he's gonna look around, he sees Alistair with his shirt off. He sees Agatha kicking her feet and just smiling like. But Alistair is maybe 1.5 feet away from his eyes.
I mean, he's just like I said, he glances around.
Pray.
What?
Pray.
Is like his eyes are locked with yours. Said he is actively sweating.
Call out for your God and his protection.
Most bright and radiant one, I, your humble servant, ask that you guide myself and my steps.
Yes!
And my...
Pray.
He is just babbling at this point. Like, is just about going through a sermon. Like, Imagine effectively whatever the Radiance version of the Lord's Prayer is.
As he continues, pray, reach out. Where is your coward God now? Hiding behind clouds. As my hand covers his mouth and stops the prayers. As he always has. I am your God now. And the worst part about it, you're not even worth a book. And he stabs a boot knife into his heart.
Sad twitches. I'll say, like, are you keeping your hand over his mouth as he dies?
No, because I need his final words.
Like tears welling in his eyes, like this man is petrified. You must be a demon. And dies.
Soul coin will capture his soul.
Is that it for your nightly activities?
Dump him off on the side, put my wagon back together. I'll head back to camp. After getting myself put together.
Yeah. Surely.
Me and Agatha will make out copious amounts in front of that. And after
enthusiastic.
That, yeah.
Agatha has to take a few moments to brush, neaten her, close back up, undo and redo a button. Yeah. Whole 9 yards. Yes. Return. You guys pull into camp a little bit after everybody else.
Yep. Stars are wonderful out tonight, everyone.
Oh, aren't they just? Genevieve is just smiling. And I want to say, because you said you guys were just a few 100 feet away.
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know how far I would have been traveling behind them, but yeah.
I rolled a perception check. I got a 7. I don't hear shit.
Yeah, I'm not asking for hearing. Cerebell, at some point before Alistair returns, Genevieve, you are sitting there, and she's asked you to, recount the journey you made and all of the detail. After you finish, she kind of glances in the direction of where Alistair has everything, where he has his stuff up, and just like is like in the middle of a sentence, like is as a passing comment. Just, my dear, it seems that you have made some of the most joyous friends. Truly. Fast forward, Alistair comes back and takes part in the camp. Anybody else?
Cerebell, when Agatha comes back, is going to essentially just give her a fist bump. Be like, yeah, you got some. Nice job.
Can I, when you go over there to talk to Agatha for just a moment, whatever that looks like,
Mm-hmm.
is Genevieve next to anyone else?
Oh, no, Genevieve probably maintains her place at the fire.
As we pull up and I see Cerebell walking towards us to come talk to Agatha or whatever. Speak to her for just a moment, dear. And I'm gonna walk over to Genevieve.
Walk over to Genevieve.
You
come up
as you pass.
Mr. Dovetree, are you a man of God?
She is mine. And if you touch her, I will take you out too. Have a good night. And I'll walk back.
Anybody else?
Belle at this point will look up and, Mr. Daltrey. Thank you for joining us. I'm so glad you were able to make it to the camp tonight. I know it's been a long journey, and your dear Agatha sometimes does get tired. Are you familiar with cards, Mr. Daltrey?
As any well-traveled man is, I suppose. Playing cards or tarot.
Playing cards, mostly. I do fancy a hand of poker now and then, but, and she draws the last card from over by the side, and she hands you a Jack of Spades. Are you familiar with a Jack of Spades, Mr. Daltrey?
He's won me a game or two.
I thought so. The Jack of Spades is typically considered to be assertive, direct, cunning and clever, self-assured, maybe sometimes seen as a bit arrogant, but will stop at nothing to win. Maybe some might consider it a bit manipulative. Anyway, this deck of cards is near and dear to me, and I would like you to have this card, sir.
Alistair regards the card for a moment, looks at you, and I would like to insight Miss Bell if you're okay with it.
Of course.
It's a natural 19, plus 3 for 22.
What you want to know? Open book, no pun intended.
What kind of vibes is that? Is this card going to explode in my pocket here in a few hours, or am I being given a gift from a sickly one? Like what is happening here? I guess is what
it's a gift from a woman who grieves deeply after many years, still grieves deeply. And if you notice the cards that everybody has together, they are a royal flush. And together they are the hand that wins it all. And so she gave one to everybody. And it's from a deck of cards that, again, very old, very tattered, clearly has been used a lot, carried around. It's been in her pockets for many years. So it's a gift because she gets sentimental sometimes.
I think Alistair is proficient in sleight of hand, so he will, with his white gloves on, just quickly make it disappear in his hands like a magician would. And then
that'll tickle her.
Take one of your hands, if you'll allow it, and cup it. Miss Bell, I may be a man of many words, but I know there are some things that words cannot help. So in this instance, I will just say that I will just say nothing and say, have a good night. And he'll let your hand go.
And a good night to you too, Mr. Daltrey. And your dear Agatha as well.
Daltrey, Mrs. Bell, like a female deer.
Daltrey. I will one day get it correct on my first try, sir, but today is clearly not that day.
As everybody's settling in, Kelly's going to post up for the first shift of watch. But as she does that, she very purposefully crosses over to where the professor is and looks down because he's been, cleaning his stuff and takes her finger and taps you on the shoulder real quick.
He seems very weirdly enough startled and kind of a micro jump as you tap and he kind of have you shared a false last name with him? I can't remember.
No, nobody. I have not used my last name in any capacity. So
I knew you hadn't shared your real one. I didn't know if you had shared like a false last
No.
name. So, Miss Carly, what can I do for you?
Professor, and I.
Oh, you didn't hear. I got promoted to Lord.
You'll always be Professor. And she like, goes down and like kisses you on the cheek, and goes, "My hero," and walks over to her horse with her rifle and like gets ready to and like gives you like a cheeky wink, just for fun. As she posts up for the evening, because she has the first shift and the last shift. So
I got one thing.
He definitely looks perplexed and maybe like someone like splash him with ice water right at that. And then you know how sometimes when someone says something to you and you come up with a retort, but it's like a little too late and it sounds awkward? Like, oh, that would have been a really good answer if I'd come up with that like 8 seconds earlier kind of thing. Just tries to come back with a your hero. Most people are that before they're engaged, darling.
next time, my dear Professor, and just keeps on walking.
You hear a chorus of your bro ancestors. Ooh.
Is the singularly least smooth thing y'all have seen him do, including getting shot.
Swing and a miss, dude.
Well, it was
From
like
the ghostly peanut gallery.
Yeah, so is this oh god, are they still on the same watch order?
I don't know.
Alistair certainly is.
God damn it.
I bet he is. Yeah, it's about to be a really uncomfortable watch for Geist. He just kind of hands down on his cart, kind of looking at his weapons, like first looking off to one side, the other. You can almost hear the hamster wheel turning, and then just slight head shake. Reloads his weapons, and then walks, still kind of confused, over to the fire once it is time for his watch.
Cerebell?
Cerebell's going to go back over to Miss Bell, ask her for her deck for a second.
She hesitates a moment, like she holds the deck like close to her heart for a second and just looks at you and then says, "Certainly, my dear," and hands it to you.
She will find one card, give you back the deck, and say, "I will be back in just a couple of minutes."
Please do, dear.
Cerebell is going to use magical tinkering on the card.
With the intent to do what?
To
Make a bomb.
I know it only says one, but can I do a couple things?
I think you can have a certain number of effects going at once. Like there's a number of effects you can have going. So I don't see why you could not apply multiple effects to the same thing.
Okay. Cerebell took the Joker card. And she is going to make the artwork on the card shimmer when you look at it naturally. When you tap it twice, it's going to just play a recorded message, a very like a very low whisper, like it was clear that Cerebell was trying to make sure that nobody else could hear in the area what she was recording, and it's just gonna say, you're the best boss I've ever had. And
How quiet are you saying that?
it, like a hushed whisper.
Okay.
And then it's going to, at the end of that, have the sounds and smells of a beach, like a desolate, really unknown beach. I know that's very specific and very strange, but it's got a smell. And it's got its own unique smell. And then Cerebel will just hand it back to Miss Bell and say, you can just tap it twice when nobody else is around. Or it'll explode.
Oh, fuck.
Belle will take it and look at it, and make sure it's on the top of the deck. And as she slides it back into this well-worn leather case, which is surely not the original, she'll just look at Sarah Bell and say, "Thank you, my dear. That is so kind and means so much."
Of course. Have a good evening.
Good night, darling.
Everybody settles down for the evening. Lots to think about, I'm sure. Two people reunited with those they care about so deeply. Take your watches.
Take your watch.
And none of you dream at all.
Hey.
And that's where we'll go ahead and end tonight's session.
What the fuck? What
All
the
right.
fuck?
Anywho,
What the fuck?
We need more.
So glad y'all are here. I hope y'all are having a good time. I know I am. Thank you for anybody who's stuck around for the whole session. We do this, specifically this Whispers in the Dust thing with these folks in the Cowboy Times on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Good gracious, Eastern Standard Time. There may be a schedule shift in this next week. We'll be sure to let you know nice and early. We'll see how things go. But aside from that, a thing that is not going anywhere and is definitely happening is on Saturdays. We have our Across Eberron campaign, which is deemed by my boy here to this direction of me, the fucking Alistair Dotry or like regular fantasy god. But he does that, and that's a lot of fun. We're level 17. Shit is bad. Somebody just died, and then somebody else died to make that person not dead. It's crazy. You should come see that at 5 p.m. this upcoming Saturday. But then other things will happen even after that. Anywho, that being said, we're going to raid Legends of Evantris. They do fun TTRPG things as well, so you guys should, give them love. We all like to support each other around these parts, and we will see y'all later on. Bye!
Bye.
For real this time. Bye! Bye.